plays today on an overcast, rainy day in Tallahassee, Florida. We get set for the Seminoles and the Hurricanes. Finally, the football game itself. You know, Gary, without Peter Warrick, you've still got probably more wide receivers for Florida State than the state has license plate designs. But, you know, they lost their prestige plate, I guess.
You know, they really did. But, you know, I don't think Florida State will do one thing different in this football game. It may take them more times to do it, but I think they're going to run the same offense. In fact, I even think somebody rather than Chris Winkie will throw the ball, and I'm not talking about a quarterback. Bobby Bowden loves these type of things, and I think you'll see the whole offense. But it does change the game for Miami. Peter Warrick had 190 yards against these guys last year, and the Miami defense has basically an extra half guy, either to rush or double up somebody else. That's a big factor in this football game. But, you know, football, what do you like about football? This is what you like about any sport, intensity. And this game's got it right here, boy.
You can cut it with a knife right now. Florida State and Miami. Finally, the game itself when we come back. Back at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, sold-out crowd, top-ranked Florida State, and number 21 Miami. The Hurricanes started 2-0, back-to-back 27-23 losses to Penn State and then to East Carolina, but they've had a week off to prepare for this one, get some injured bodies healthy. And Butch Davis 0-4 against Florida State. His team will kick off. And tall man Gardner back there waiting on it. Andy Crossland will tee it up. Interesting thing, Gary, in talking with Bobby Bowden the other day, he said when you lose a player of Peter Warrick's caliber, was kind of like when he was at West Virginia and he coached against Pittsburgh.
Tony Dorsett, he said we always felt like we were 7 points behind. Well, I think that's probably the same. Peter usually gives him 7 points on a big play.
Crossland kicks it out of bounds, and so Florida State will work from the 35-yard line to start the game. Let's take a look at the Chile starting lineup. The big uns up front for the Noles. Brett Williams have been very happy with the way he's progressed. The freshman redshirt left tackle, Ammon, Thomas, Whitaker, and Tarlos Thomas round out the front five. The wide receiver core without Warrick still very deep. Those are just 4 of the guys you'll see: Bolden, Minnis, Duggins, and Jermaine Stringer. And in the backfield, Chris Winkie at the controls. He's the leader of this team, and he expects to take on even more of a role now. Travis Minor and Dan Kendra in the backfield behind him. And there's Winkie, the 27-year-old quarterback who seems to be improving week in and week out and had a sensational game against Miami last year. First play of the game, and they are going to try to throw off the option, and it's going to be caught. Nope, out of bounds. Just what Gary said. He didn't expect anything to be taken out of the arsenal. Minnis comes up throwing and almost completed in Miami territory.
Florida State was very guarded on what they were going to do in this football game. They started with the tight end. It's a formation that they run the ball a lot. And I would say, Brad, that Minnis is their worst throwing receiver.
Probably.
So he's at least number 3. The ball was not thrown very well, and that's what Bobby was the most concerned with. Is not that we won't call the plays, is whether there'll be good decisions when they call those type of plays. Here's the guy, number 4, that can throw the football in the slot.
Winkie with 5 in the pattern, incomplete, and he got decked as soon as he let go of the football. Defensively up front, William Joseph is the guy that just planted Chris Winkie. Sweeney and Lewis and Michael Burrow. That's the front 4. The linebacking core undersized, but they will hit you. Webster's the leading tackler, Morgan and Campbell. And in the secondary, Rump and Myers in the corners, Blades and Reed are the safeties. 3rd down 10, and penalty markers down. Brett Williams may have come out of his stance on the left side there. Florida State was facing a 3rd and 10.
False start, offense.
And now they're facing a 3rd and 15.
I think Miami really feels good early in this football game. Bobby showed him that he's going to put everything in the playbook, but Miami reacted well to it.
Yes,
I mean, it was covered, and on the first pass that Chris Winkie threw, he got knocked down. That is going to be the story of the football game. Chris Winkie has to have some pressure on him, or it's going to be a long day for Miami.
That first option pass, that was a warning shot if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it was a knuckleball, too.
3rd down at 15. Thinking about a blitz of the Canes. Here they come. Winkie rolling to his right. Here comes the heat. He's hammered. Ball loose in the air. It is caught. But it's out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage, and Winky's been hit twice in 3 plays.
See, Chris Winky knew the pressure was coming. He knew the corner blitz. He saw it in the pre-snap read. Chris Campbell, the linebacker from the weak side, was coming all the way. There he is. He's going to come all the way on the play. You can't stop. You know you're going to get it in the back that time. No one's picking that up. That's a mistake by the quarterback, and he paid for it.
Keith Cottrell behind him on a 3-and-out will punt. Santana Moss waiting on the other end. He's one of those guys that can take it on any given snap. Not a great punt. Out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Only a 31-yard kick. And now penalty markers all over the place as there was some jawing going on between a couple of players down there. Nick Maddox was involved for Florida State.
And that's who the foul's on, Brad. Nick Maddox, the young freshman, is going to get it.
John Smith, our referee, personal foul. It's not a rarity in this series between these two teams that you'll see a personal foul penalty call. So Butch Davis is going to have great field position to start things off, and his starting lineup, the Chili's front wall for him. LaFair, Mercier, and Wise, they like the way they play, and they'll need them against Simon and Johnson inside. Bibla and Gonzalez round out the front 5. Santana Moss and Reggie Wayne, the wideouts. Bubba Franks is a huge target at tight end and maybe a factor today. Kenny Kelly at quarterback. James Jackson with that week off after East Carolina, probably near 100%. Mondrell Fletcher is a tight end converted to a fullback. He'll play some H-back today as well. So what a way to start for the Hurricanes in Noles territory, just outside the 47-yard line. Wayne to the near side and Moss out to the top of your screen, and he's the motion man. Jackson, nothing. Jamal Reynolds in on the stop along with Bradley Jennings. Defensively for Florida State, great speed off the end. Seymour back, he's in shoulder troubles, but he's ready to go. Reynolds on the other. Johnson and Simon, I mentioned the anchors inside. Jennings helped out on that tackle. Polly's a big play performer, and Brian Allen, the linebackers. Mario Edwards and Tay Cody on the corners. Sean Key and Derek Gibson are the safeties. A loss of 1 by James Jackson at 2nd down 11. 2 tight end set, only 1 wide out. Kenny Kelly's looking at him on a slant and got him complete inside the 35 to Andre King. It's a 1st down Miami at the 32.
Miami that time came with 2 tight ends, a running formation, and then ran a max type protection where everyone was there for Kelly. Only the tight end and 1 man went out. That means 8 guys were blocking, and this has to feel good because Kenny Kelly has been dropping all year. Started out 68%, down to 40% last week against East Carolina.
They're going to go with that same set, Garrett. High backfield, 1 wide out. Fletcher and Franks really set up as the tight ends now, as you see Mondrell Fletcher on a wing to the right side. On 1st down, Jackson looking for a seam, doesn't find much of one. Got about 3. Polly and Jennings are over there to help on the tackle.
Well, with Davenport not playing, James Jackson was injured last week. It took a freshman that ran for against East Carolina, but they really missed Jackson. He gives them that big back play that they need from the tailback, and they have to do it against this defense. They can't put it all on a quarterback that's really not prepared to play this type of a defense yet.
Clinton Portis is the guy that Gary was talking about that did most of the work in Jackson's stead against the Pirates. Miami on the move on their opening march. 2nd down and 6. Fletcher in motion. Here's the counter. Jackson trying to weave inside, and Corey Simon said, "I held my ground." Simon in on the tackle, the All-American. And it'll bring up 3rd down and long.
The Miami offensive line will take very short and tight splits. Look how close they are to bench, and they'll try to do almost a snowplow type effect of blocking against Florida State, hoping that the Florida State defense will basically bump into each other a lot of the times. They have to continue to run the ball throughout this game on 1st and 2nd down to make it 3rd and reasonable. That's what they have here.
Again, they keep Fulcher and Franks in a 2 tight end set with a lone wide out there, Reggie Wayne. And he overshot it. Wayne actually had a half step. And Kenny Kelly sailed it a little bit high.
Well, Kenny Kelly could have run that for a first down, but he had Wayne wide open a little earlier before he threw that ball, and again threw the ball high. Kenny Kelly has a big-time arm. That was the free safety that came across that time.
Andy Crossland's been a much better kicker since they took the punting chores away from him. He hit 3 field goals against East Carolina a couple of weeks ago, including that season-long 47 you see on your screen. This one will be from 46 as the sunshine comes out. Blocked. Near midfield, it'll be Florida State football. I think it's Tommy Polley that got it.
That's exactly what we talked about, and that's exactly what Mickey Andrews said the defense had to do. Hey, you're out there 2/3 of the game. Make some big plays. Coming from behind, you can see it right up the gut. That's just way too easy. Tommy Polley comes right up there.
Florida State's got it back when we return. Tommy Polley, the leading tackler for Florida State, just tackled that field goal attempt by Crossland. And that takes away the scoring opportunity for the Canes on their opening march.
Brad, when we were out at practice Thursday, he challenged his defense, Mickey Andrews did, to say, hey, we don't have Peter making big plays. We have to do something ourselves, and that's exactly what happened in that situation. He says, hey, we're on special teams. Let's keep doing it.
So Kenny Kelly will wait another turn. Chris Wenke and company will bring it out right at the midfield stripe. So good field position for Florida State on their second offensive set. Remember, it was 3 and out the first time they had it. Minor behind Kendra will get the call. Travis weaves for about 2. I mentioned the sun was trying to come out when that field goal was blocked. Swanee, is it still raining out there?
It is. There's a constant, real fine drizzle that's coming down, which I think is going to make a problem, create a problem for the quarterback to throw some passes. I think the shorter, harder passes are easier for the quarterback. The receivers really have to focus on the ball, not run before they make a good catch.
Field a little slick. There was a major downpour right before the national anthem, as a matter of fact. 2nd down and 8 from the 48. Wenke sets and goes deep. Man out there and got him. Florida State touchdown, Jermaine Stringer. Perfectly thrown ball, 48 yards. The Noles are in front.
Well, so much for the shorter pass, right? You get that dry ball, it really doesn't make much difference. 0 coverage, which means no free safety in the middle of the field. Chris Wenke to Stringer, read it perfectly and threw it perfectly.
Career-long catch for Jermaine. And so, as we told you, Florida State is not without depth and speed at wide receiver, and they strike in one play. Janikowski's extra point is good. 11 minutes, 13 seconds remaining first quarter. Wenke strings it out for Jermaine. It's 7-0 Seminoles. Peter Warwick over there talking with his buddies, including number 86, who just caught the touchdown pass to cap a 2-play 50-yard drive, if you want to call it a drive. 48-yard touchdown catch. 7-0 Florida State.
You know, Butch Davis, Brad, told us about how many missed assignments Miami did against East Carolina in the second half. I think it was a missed assignment in this play right here, not necessarily with Leonard Myers, although he was in man coverage, but I can't believe Miami had no free safety and didn't blitz. That seems like a missed assignment to me.
Janikowski usually doesn't allow return kicks, and that'll be the story here. He knocks it out of the end zone.
Notice this right here. Here's Miami's secondary. All of them are in the picture. All 4 right here. Here's the 3 linebackers. Nothing happens. One of these 2 guys should have dropped back in deep middle. There's no help in the middle of the field. You got a corner playing outside technique. No safety in the middle of the field. Either the cornerback should have been inside or the safety should have been back there helping. One of the 2 guys busted.
The defense talking it over on the sideline. The offense will take over down a touchdown from the 20. Moss in motion. Kelly looking that way. Got him across the 25, Santana Moss, and he's going to get a first down. Pushed out of bounds right at the 30 by Mario Edwards. Santana Moss, you talk about big play receivers. He's a guy that can light it up in a hurry as well. Had the huge catch right before halftime in the kickoff classic that really turned the tide in their favor against Ohio State. Had a good game last year.
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
he's the fastest man on the field probably.
Yep.
I mean, Big East record in the 60, and he's averaging 21 yards a catch.
He got about 10 and a half on the last one. First down and a loose ball. Kelly picks it up, and he's going to lose a couple. Bad exchange from center apparently. Never really had the handle, and Kelly's got to swallow it. Gary, let's talk about the Dell game solutions for Miami.
All right, I think on offense, they really have to do one thing to survive, and that's withstand the pass rush. They're not going to stop them all day, but don't just crumble under that pass rush. And defensively, three things. Hit Winky, hit Winky, hit Winky.
First series, they got two of those right.
Right, make him into a Twinkie is what they got to do if they have any chance.
Well, they didn't the last time he dropped back. And he threw a touchdown pass. Here it's second down and 12 for the Hurricanes, and they see three wideouts for Kelly for the first time. Wanting to throw a screen, and Jackson dropped it.
Set up nice, too.
Tommy Pilot kind of blew that up. He got in the line of sight, I think, a little bit of Kenny Kelly and forced an errant throw.
It's still one that I think Jackson could have handled, Brad. And I mean, it was basically didn't get it in stride, but I think you expect him to catch it. And it was set up very nicely. I think Jamal Reynolds also was right in Kelly's face. Screen's going to come out to the outside with the back. There you see Reynolds kind of forced it, and Polly was there on one side. But, you know, if he catches that ball, he's up for at least 6-7 yards.
You're right. Now they need a dozen.
This is where you have to be careful if you're a young quarterback.
As you know, that front four will pin their ears back. They're going to keep it on the ground, play it safe, and it's Jackson in the open field across the 40. Jackson down the sideline. All the way to the 27-yard line. Well, they changed things up on a 3rd and 12, and he rips off a 45-yard run.
And no surprise in the call, at least Florida State shouldn't have been surprised. Here's an I formation. You know it's going to be run. That's what the scouting report says. Just a nice job of that line working together in a snowplow fashion. And you saw Sean Key get picked off there at the 18. That's what made that play from an 8-yard gain into a big play. 45 yards. The longest run allowed by Florida State this year. To the Noles 27. They'll try him again. This time about a yard, maybe two. Jerry Johnson, one of the co-captain defensive tackles, in on the stop. Well, Edgerrin James was the tailback of this team a year ago, and he rushed for 1,400 yards roughly. But this team really depended on Jackson, who was kind of the substitute last year. He and Davenport that gave James the rest, and those two guys are not available, so that's why they had to play the freshman Portis.
Jackson had almost 550 yards in for Edgerrin James in spot duty last year. Second down and 8. Just outside the Seminole 25. Nice play fake by Kelly. Pumps once. Moss down the sideline, and he's got it at the 9-yard line. What a great catch.
Well, first of all, Moss got mugged coming off the line of scrimmage. Watch this. Mario Edwards pushes him out of bounds, gets back in, which is legal, and then makes the catch. Lynn.
One of the great things about Santana Moss is obviously his speed. He's on the track team and runs a 60-meter dash, but most people talk about speed, talk about a track guy who becomes a football player.
Wow.
Well, Santana Moss is a football player first, a guy who has exceptional speed for track, great agility, and getting to the football.
And catching it.
Beautiful catch. First and goal inside the 10. Jackson behind his blockers got a couple. It'll be second down and goal. Coming up tomorrow night on ESPN, Battle of the Bays. And it'll heat up again with Brett Favre and company. The Packers take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And on Monday night on ABC, Mark Brunell and the Jaguars of Jacksonville invade the Meadowlands. They'll take on the Jets, a 30th anniversary season of Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, right here on ABC. Brunell having an excellent year so far. Keyshawn Johnson hoping to see some more passes from Rick Meyer. Right now we're looking at Miami on the 8th play of their drive. Second and goal, a fade to the corner. Caught, touchdown, Reggie Wayne. And we're a point away from tying it up.
And it was Mario Edwards again on coverage, but he never turned around and saw the ball. Mario Edwards had decent coverage, but Kelly just tosses it up. The receiver has all the advantage. Look at Edwards back to the football. Can't make a play like that. You got to turn around and find the football. That's pitch and catch.
Reggie Wayne makes the adjustment with his eyes on the ball, and Crossland has tied it up at 7.
That was a tremendous drive for Miami. Remember, what was it, 3rd and 13? They picked up a first down.
Jackson went for 45 yards to set it up. Reggie Wayne's got it in the end zone. We're even at 7.
On the sidelines with Bobby Bowden, coach, your team, your quarterback, the first drive took a couple of hits, yet you come back with a big play. It's a tie ball game. You couldn't protect that lead very long. You can still go for the big ball?
Yeah, well, if they're going to play like they're playing everybody up close. I imagine they'll kind of disperse a little bit now. But if they play them up that close, we'll have to go deep.
Okay, coach. Thank you.
There's a man that caught the touchdown. Kenny Kelly, Gary, near perfect on that drive.
He really was. 3 for 4 in the drive. And, you know, again, Kenny Kelly has to show his teammates that he's willing to take some hits and just keep getting up and throwing it.
Yeah.
That's really the key to a quarterback playing against Florida State, if you survive it.
He's taken much of the loss, those 2 losses, onto his shoulders and has taken it very hard. Butch Davis says, I've had to sit him down and say, hey, you know, it's not all your fault.
Right.
Ollinger will kick. Nick Maddox goes over and catches it out of bounds, but he was out of bounds and so was the ball, I think. Or are they going to make him take it right there?
You know, it's a pretty big field. You think he'd be able to get it on the field up there.
So the kickoff out of bounds. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The side you show the world is up to you. Chili's, proud sponsor of ABC College Football. Dell Computer, pioneering direct internet ideas for your business. Be direct, Dell. And the Water Boy, touchdown home video scores with outrageous bonus footage. The Nick Maddox footage was out of bounds when the ball got there, so they'll take it at the 35. Wenke, as Gary said, and as Swanee said to Bobby Bowden, took a couple big hits in the opening drive, but then came back and threw the 48-yard touchdown pass right on the money to Jermaine Stringer. From the 35-yard line, out of the shotgun, handoff inside Travis Minor, and Minor goes for about 4, actually close to the 40-yard line. You know, after he got hurt last year against Virginia, Chris Wenke didn't get a chance to play in the national championship game against Tennessee, and against Miami, we asked him, you know, Chris, is this your biggest game ever?
This is the biggest game for me. The pressure's on me. Now there's maybe a little more added pressure without Peter being in the game. I love the pressure. I love those pressure situations. Put me in there, see how I respond. I think I'm going to respond just fine.
So far, so good. Minor again, same play. Fumble! Out of bounds at the 40. Florida State will keep it. It'll be 3rd and 5. Boy, Morgan put the pop, I think, on Minor, and that ball came flying out of there.
Dan Morgan is with that senior class that has never beaten Florida State. That hasn't happened at Miami since 1970 when Howard Snellenberger came back and rebuilt this program.
11 fifth-year seniors and 4 that never redshirted have never beaten Florida State. So 15 guys are itching out there for the Miami Hurricanes. 3rd down 5. Wenke with 4 wideouts. Throws near side. Minnis has it, first down across midfield and down to the 47 of the Hurricanes. Let's head to New York and John Saunders. John?
Brad, for the Burger King update, Michigan and Michigan State going to be a great battle in this one. And Bill Burke gets it back on the flea flicker and goes deep to Plaxico Burress. 68 yards to the 1, sets up the touchdown, 7-0. Brad.
Rivalry there and a rivalry here. 7-7 our game, and Florida State right back in Canes territory. Wenke wide open over the middle. He had a man. He threw behind Morgan, and Morgan slipped. Couldn't come back for it. It's incomplete.
You know, Florida State and Miami seem like they're new wave type offenses, but Florida State probably runs more curl passes than anybody I've seen watching film of them. They like to go down there, catch the ball about 12 yards and make easy throws for the quarterback, and that's what you'll see. Wenke has to hit guys who are just standing there in front of him like a first baseman.
Kendra and Minor flanking Wenke in the gun here with 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10. Canes thinking about a blitz. They'll back off it. It's an inside handoff, and Miner weaving his way behind Kendra and his blockers. Got close to the 40-yard line. It's still going to be 3rd down and about 3. The Dell Game Solutions, Gary, for Florida State.
Well, Florida State has to just do what they always do. Do not worry about Peter Warrick, and I think they're doing that.
Right.
They just run our offense. Defensively, yes, they got a young quarterback, but don't take that for granted. Continue to mix up the looks, keep him off balance, and obviously that's when the rush will be effective.
3rd down and 4 here. They'd like to get a rush on Winky, but he's again in the shotgun, as Florida State has been for most of the game. Over the middle, got his man, and it's Miner, 1st down inside the 35 and down near the 31. Dan Morgan knocked him off his pins, but Travis Miner weaved out of there into the pattern and picks up the 1st down catch.
Very interesting. Miami gets burned by the deep pass. So what do? Just what Bobby Bowden said they might do. If they move back, we throw short.
Right.
If they move up, we throw long. Checkers.
Checkers. That's one thing you've taught me in 8 years. It's not chess, it's checkers.
Checkers.
Well, nobody's been kinged yet, and we got a timeout with 6 minutes, 6 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. Timeout taken by Miami. Florida State on the drive when we come back. Seventh play of the Florida State drive coming up. They're tied 7-7 with Miami. 6:06 remaining 1st quarter. And it's the Seminoles at the Hurricanes' 31-yard line. Same formation now. Winky comes up to change things up with his offensive lineman. Kendra inside. And Kendra got a good gain of about 4.
Remember, he could throw too.
That's right.
Greg Schiano was the new defensive coordinator this year, his 1st-year defensive coordinator, and he said, you know, the shotgun offense, if you want to hit Chris Winky, it's hard. He said it's more like the hand grenade offense. He doesn't hold it very long.
That thing's been pretty hot in his hand so far today. On 2nd down, Winky plenty of time. Now he's in trouble. Being chased from behind. He's not a big-time scrambler, but he's got a 1st down run. That might be the best we've seen his wheels look oiled in a long time. He picked up 7 and a 1st down.
Well, you know, when Winky scrambles, you think he's going to throw. I mean, you don't come out in the secondary. You say, this guy doesn't want to run, so you stay back, and that's what opened it up.
And he showed it twice that time.
Watch, he wanted to throw the football. Breaks inside, great protection up front. Does a little pump fake, and then just looks for the safety of the sideline.
1st down right at the 20-yard line. Back to an odd backfield. Travis Miner with a play fake. Winky pumps again. Now he's got open field again in front of him. Back across the field, incomplete. Intended for Kendra.
Not much out there that time. This was a nice time to throw it away. Look at this. Look at that. Deep safeties. Corner up here playing the flat. Winky does a play action pass. Neither one of the backs get out there. There's nobody to dump the ball to, and he just has to throw it away to Kendra late.
So 2nd down and 10. Winky under center. 10th play of the Florida State drive. Draw play, Miner. Travis Miner, he's got another 1st down. Out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Well, Dan Kendra had a pretty good block that time, but notice Al Blades. He's the safety. He's up in the block in the front 7. You think as an extra linebacker, but he's still concerned with the pass, and that's why that play just broke it in for a big play.
Florida State's got it 1st and goal. Looking to regain the lead with a little over 5 minutes remaining in the 1st quarter. From Tallahassee, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Lynn Swan with you. The 43rd meeting between the Seminoles and the Hurricanes. Travis Miner toss sweep. He got close, down to about the 2. Nate Webster in on the stop.
2 good blocks again. Kendra and Brett Williams, the freshman this time, do a good job. Kendra's going to come right at you. Left side of your screen, you see the block. Here comes Kendra right at. Oh, Blades, get out of the way. Just enough. That's all you got to do. Just get in his way. The running back will make the play.
3 tight ends come in for Florida State. Something you don't normally see.
Do they have that many?
They have that many. That's about it, though. That'd be the end of the line.
That's the worst you can be as third string.
2nd and goal at the 2. Here's Minor again behind Kendra. And they're going to stretch it out nicely. Best play made there was by William Joseph as the first guy that stretched that play to the sideline. And then Edward Reed took Minor out of bounds.
And this puts Florida State into a passing situation here. 3rd down. Same play they've been running all game. This time inside. Enough. William Joseph just got in there enough to stretch that play out.
Actually lost a yard. And Wenke's going to head over to the sideline. Timeout. Florida State with 4:23 remaining in the quarter. Down in a spot where they don't want to make a mistake. We'll see what they do when we come back. 4:23 left in the quarter. And 3rd and goal at the 3. As Florida State will come out of this huddle and look to regain the lead. Let's go down to Lynn Swan.
Brad, I think the key play in this drive was the fact that Wenke scrambled. Wenke talked about the pressure. He talked about taking on the leadership role. But when he scrambled for that 1st down, I think that put it in an example on the field. He led by the example of doing something he normally doesn't do, something he doesn't want to do necessarily, but he goes out, he does it, he picks up that 1st down, and then the rest of the team can rally behind him because they see their leader willing to go the extra yard. Now look at him. As you said, Gary, doesn't he want to throw the football? He wants to put it away. But he says, you know, if I can pick it up and do it for the team, I'll do it.
There's his numbers so far today.
And this is a situation, if you're calling plays and you're Mark Richt, you're thinking, hey, what's my 2-point plays? I mean, this is the situation, you know, you're going to grab anything you can. A touchdown's so important, so it may be anything. We've seen, you know, direct snaps to running backs, you know, against Florida State in this situation. Yeah, the whole offense is open.
I can tell you one thing, they got rid of the tight ends.
Yeah.
Here comes the 3 wideout group. There's Mark Richt looking on. Let's see what they've dialed up. 3rd and goal at the 3. They'll keep it on the ground, and it's a touchdown for Jeff Chaney. They were 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions on that drive, and the last one got them the last 3 yards for the touchdown.
You know, it's almost like a shell game. What's the last thing you would expect? The fullback getting the ball on a direct handoff. I mean, that's the way you call plays. That's a good feel for knowing your offense.
The P was under a shell that nobody expected. Janikowski, extra point, up and good. Good looking drive by Florida State. Chaney's the guy that capped it. A 65-yard march. They got down close. They took a timeout to talk it over. They spread everybody out with 3 wide receivers, and then they go fullback. Touchdown.
Yeah, if you're Miami, you're thinking, okay, pick passes, pitch, you know, fullback out in the flat. You're not thinking right up the gut. I mean, Florida State doesn't like to score that way. What, 14, 15 plays?
13 plays. 65 yards, and another Florida State touchdown. So they've scored on 2 of their 3 possessions, both times touchdowns, 1 through the air, and that 3-yard rush to cap off the last 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
And what a great game plan Florida State has showed so far. Just as you said, opening play, shoot the bow.
Yep.
Shot right across the bow. We're going to do everything. The whole offense is available. Hit the bow. You back up, we throw in front of you. You want to spread out, we'll run the ball. That's an offense. It's hard to stop. And it's why they're the only Division I football team that has scored 40 points in every football game this year.
Janikowski, 34 touchbacks out of his 44 kickoffs. Fans actually pay attention to the kicks when this kid's around. We'll see if he can knock it through the uprights. That's usually what they're waiting for. Miami from the 20. Kenny Kelly on the last time Miami had it. On a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 12 situation, they crossed up Florida State with this stretch play, and James Jackson cuts it outside, 45 yards, sprint down the sideline before he's knocked out of bounds. And Kenny Kelly lays it up. Reggie Wayne makes the adjustment. Mario Edwards never got his head turned around, and that's how they scored their last trip. Season numbers for Kenny Kelly, 171 yards a game, He's 4 out of 6 today. Play action. Kelly throwing deep for Moss, and he's got it. Santana Moss breaks a tackle. Forget it. He's gone. Touchdown, Hurricane. 80 yards. Much the same move he put on in that late stage second quarter touchdown against Ohio State. He just put the brakes on, put it in reverse for a second, then put it in overdrive.
It's just like playing, playground football. If you're fast, you run fast, make that guy run as fast as he can, put on the brakes, stop, catch the ball. It's, you understand why these guys are so good when you really watch them in person. I mean, they got all the plays, and they got speed out there at wide receiver.
Career-long catch for Moss. Crossland's extra point is good.
So each team has had a drive, and each team has had a long pass.
Santana Moss, boy, was he a focused young fellow yesterday when we talked to him.
That's just what I was going to say. I mean, he was ready to play last night.
Penalty marker, by the way, on the extra point. Butch Davis is wondering why and talking about it with Crossland.
Up against Reggie Durden this time. He get beat. Another guy comes in. It looks good, but there's the burst. And then he slows down. Durden says, oh, man, this guy's faster than me. Gibson comes around. Everyone's takes it into the end zone, and Kelly says, this is fun. So far, this is fun. A little bit, quick 5-step drop before the rush can get there. Throw it up, and easier than hitting a curveball.
5 out of 7 for Kelly, and 2 touchdown tosses already here in the first quarter. Santana talking upstairs. Good start for him. 2 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
Mention he did it against Ohio State. He also did it against Penn State.
That's
Same
true.
type of play.
That's right. And he did it last year against Florida State. Had a 52-yard catch. And there's what I was talking about with Kenny Kelly. What a start. 5 of 7 and 2 scoring tosses. So the kickoff coming up in a moment here. High scoring game. 14-14. And we still have 4:03 left first quarter. Maddox dropping back deep along with tall man Gardner. And there's Maddox, the true freshman from North Carolina, who they expect big things from in the future. Right now he's got to wait his turn behind Travis Minor and company. Ollinger to kick. This one high and short and returnable. Gardner from the 13, and he's got a seam out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Nice return. Florida State, great field position, and their great athletic director Dave Hart is along with us right now. Dave, it's been a very trying week, obviously, in losing 2 key players. On a personal note, I'll say that I think you and Bobby Bowden handled it beautifully, but there's only one way you could handle it, I guess.
I think so. All you can do, Brad, is do what's right. And we talk to our players so frequently about making choices and the consequences that are associated with poor choices. And unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with here. I feel for everybody involved. I feel for people who care about Florida State. And talent doesn't make you immune to accountability.
First down play and penalty markers all over the field. The situation as we know it right now is Lavernius Coles is dismissed from the team. Peter Warrick, we talked to him before the game. Lynn Swan did. The situation that you guys know it now as compared to, say, Thursday when we met with you for the first time.
Well, I think in the case of Lavernius had some past problems and knew full well that he could not misrepresent the athletics program in the university in any way, shape, or form, or he would be dismissed. I have to say this in the case of Peter Warrick. What he did was wrong, obviously, and we are paying a price, all of us, for the choice he made. But prior to this, Peter Warrick was an athlete in very good stead with us as a student, as a person, and as an athlete, and that makes it even more disappointing, Brad.
First down and 15 coming up with the penalty here in a moment. Peter Warrick is on the sideline. You just saw a shot of him in street clothes. He had a chance to talk to his teammates before the game and has been over there being a cheerleader for the wide receiver corps since the game began.
Dave, you know all the things as they unfolded Did you feel it coming all the way? Did you know it was as big a story as it finally ended up to be?
No, not early in the week. We knew that obviously we were going to take action. There would be consequences. We made a decision Tuesday that Peter would not play regardless of the outcome. We made a decision Lavernius, if indeed was charged, that Lavernius would be released from the squad. We did not realize it would escalate early in the week from a misdemeanor to a third-degree felony, and obviously when you say that word, your heart sinks.
Right.
Now it's first down at 15. We'll have one final question for you, Dave, after the play. Wenke from the gun. 3 wideouts in the pattern. Flares it out. Dugans makes the catch. Nice coverage, though. He's dragged out of bounds, only about a 2-yard gain. I think what the whole country wants to know, and I know Pete Warrick wants to know, and maybe we don't have the answers, what will it take for him to come back?
Well, it's out of our hands now, Brad. We developed a policy that puts things on paper. Our student athletes and staff and coaches know the policy, know the parameters, but it goes into the legal system now, and we'll respond once they are finished with what they have to do and tell us where they are. And I don't know how long that'll take. And again, that is not something for us to be involved in, obviously. We'll wait for word on the legal system.
All right, Dave, I know it's been a trying week for you, Coach Bowden, the whole team, and all the Florida State fans, and the country has been watching this thing unfold. Thanks a lot for coming on with us. Go enjoy the ball game.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, Dave Hart, the athletic director at Florida State. One of the stranger weeks we probably ever had in preparation for a football game. And as I said when we opened things up, it's sad that one of the big stories of the year has a negative connotation. But hopefully everybody has learned something from it. And what we know right now is we've got one heck of a football game. Tied at 14 and a 3rd down and 11 for the Noles. Wenke's got all day to throw. Wide open is Morgan, and he nails him at the 42-yard line. Blades made the tackle, but that one got there in a hurry. And Robert Morgan makes the catch. First down, Seminole.
You know, the ball got there in a hurry, Brad, but it took a long time for the route to get there. Wenke had all day to throw this football again. Look at that. No one's even in the picture as he let it go. I still go down there and do that.
Just outside the 42. First down. Wenke stays in the gun. Quick snap, and he's going to roll to throw this time. And fires it complete. Nice move put on at about the 35, and then tagged out of bounds is Marvin Minnis. Leonard Myers is the man that shoved him out.
We were talking to Dave Hart about the possible distractions for his football team, but interestingly, when we talked to Butch Davis, he said the same thing. He didn't want this thing to distract his football team as they came into this game, and he warned his team to, hey, let's not talk to the media about it. Let's get ready to play football.
And close to a first down. Here's exactly what Gary was talking about. And it was an interesting situation for the Hurricanes this week, and Butch Davis to get his team ready.
We've gone through some distractions early in my career at the University of Miami, and the one thing that I didn't want it to do with our players was to get caught up with a lot of media conversation on how does it affect our game plan, what do you anticipate them doing, and all of a sudden now you're not focusing on what you're supposed to do because of something that should affect the other team.
So far, Miami, I think it did lift them up a little bit in talking with their players yesterday. They not only felt very focused, but it was that little bit of doubt that they thought would be planted in Florida State's mind that gave them maybe a little more edge coming in here than they normally would have. They come in as a heavy underdog. They are 2-2 on the season against a 5-0 team that's ranked #1 in the country. But hey, this is Miami and Florida State. And we talked about battles.
Yep.
The battle has begun, and it might be a long one. 2:30 to go first quarter, and we've already seen 4 touchdowns. First down, Florida State, just outside the Canes' 32-yard line. Travis Miners had a good game at tailback so far. He'll get the call on a little delay, and he is met head-on. Flags all over as Al Blades has him helmet to helmet. Might have a holding call inside.
Al Blades, Chris Campbell also made the play. That's the second play Chris Campbell's made. He's one of the 5 guys that were suspended for 4 games because of academic infractions. He's back. Remember, this team has lost Michael Smith in the Penn State game, one of the starting outside linebackers.
We have offset penalties. Defense line up in the neutral zone. Offense holding. They offset. Remains
holding
second
call
down.
It was, but it was also a neutral zone violation for Miami, so we'll do it all over again. Offsetting penalties. And that loss by Michael Smith you just mentioned, Gary, that's a big blow. You know, Butch said to us yesterday, I know they've lost Peter Warrick and Lavernius Coles, but hey, we don't have Michael Smith and we don't have Najee Davenport, and those are two huge guys for us. Now, those were due to injuries, obviously, but
he also lost Lewis and Burrow against ECU. It was an undermanned defense.
Here's Kendra inside, and Kendra, no gain on the play. Swanee, you have a guy like Warrick out there. Obviously, Florida State's missing something.
Oh, they're missing quite a bit. And let's take a look at the graphic that shows you his impact, yards per touch. And the yards per touch is the key. You look at the fact that rushing, he touches it, and he averages 12 yards, receiving 14 yards. What you don't know, however, is when that play would come, he would break the big one. So what you ask the other guys on the field to do is at least make the initial catch and not worry about the extra yards. Then you don't lose that much.
They've been making the initial catch, and Wenke's looking to throw another one to him. This one's in and out. Catch that should have been made. Travis Minor out of the backfield, and it'll be 3rd down and 10. Nate Webster was there to put a hit on Minor.
The Miami defense has settled into something that's working for them right now. Florida State is still moving the ball, and they probably always will as long as they catch the ball when they throw it. But Miami has started to put this safety in the middle of the field, and everybody else try to force their guys to Kim, and he read Chris Winke's eyes. That seems to be working on early downs.
3rd down here. Cheney and Minor flanking Winke in the gun. Minor's out in the flat. Winke wants to throw the other way to Cheney on a screen and does. He's got blockers in front of him. Cheney down the sideline inside the 20. 1st down, Florida State. So Cheney's had 2 touches today. One was a touchdown. That on a 3rd and 10 nets him 15 yards and a 1st down.
Didn't that play seem to take a long time again? It does not seem like Miami's front 4 right here. Those 4 guys are retracing. Once they read the play, they got to turn around and run the other way. Look, guys are just standing. You wonder if that front 4 gets tired with this fast-paced offense that Florida State continues to run.
And Chris Wenke's used 7 different receivers so far today, and there's his numbers: 112 yards and a touchdown. And a timeout taken with 56 seconds remaining in the quarter, taken by Miami. Tie game at 14 with almost a minute still remaining. The game summary: it was Wenke going long to Stringer, 48-yard touchdown. Kenny Kelly comes back and hits Reggie Wayne for a score, and then Cheney on the aforementioned 3-yard touchdown inside, and then Santana Moss and outside and gone. So 2 long touchdowns, one by each team. Kenny Kelly's thrown 2, Wenke's thrown 1, and we're even at 14 with Gary Danielson and Lynn Swan, Brad Nessler, and our ABC crew here as Bobby Bowden is looking for his 298th win, and Butch Davis looking for his 1st win in 5 outings against Florida State.
Both teams are really just holding serve. I mean, it's like a tennis match so far. I mean, you got both teams playing well. Both defenses seem to not be able to put the stop on anybody, and the receivers are dominating the game.
Well, this series has had some great matchups, and since '83, 9 wins for Miami. Look at the draft picks. The national championships, 4 for the Canes and 1 for Florida State, and 3 Heisman Trophy winners have been mixed into that batch. And you and I were talking about an interesting thing. It seemed like when Florida State was losing all those games to Miami, was Miami winning national championships. Now it's Florida State that's #1 in the country. Miami's trying to get back up there.
Just a bit different, though. It seemed like Miami was stopping Florida State from winning them. It doesn't seem like Miami's there yet. This is their best team, but they're still not there.
Of course, they lost 31 scholarships over a 3-year span. Finally, they apparently have put that behind them. Travis Minor inside run down to the 10. Minor running very well inside today. Rod Mack made the tackle, but not before Travis got down to the 10-yard line.
You know, in the last 11 meetings between these two teams, the team that rushed for the most yards has won this football game. But last year, you know, FSU only rushed for 98, and you know, Miami 69. So they don't dominate the game, but you have to have that ability to do it to keep the other team's defensive line off balance.
The extra tight end set now in for Florida State on short yardage. Kendra popped right at the line, and he didn't get anything. And Florida State has fumbled. Miami came out of there with the ball very late in that play. I thought the whistles had blown, and all of a sudden one of the officials said Hurricane football.
Yeah, you're right. I thought his forward progress had been stopped, and it was very, very late.
Al Blades is the guy that came out of the pack with the football. But that play, everybody was just sort of standing around.
Kind of hard to believe. Coming right at you here. Kendrick's got the ball. There's the initial hit. Now he goes back. Everybody's ripping at the football, and it pops loose before he stops. I think that's a good call.
Blades is the guy that stripped it.
Watch it go right there. Yep.
Huge turnover.
Absolutely.
With Florida State on their way to what looked like another touchdown. And now it's the Hurricanes offense from the 11. Here's Jackson. Florida State stretches this one out and buries him. Jerry Johnson the first hit, and then Roland Seymour cleaned up. A loss of about 4 on the play. And the first quarter's come to a close. It's been a dandy. We're tied at 14. ABC Sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Way to go.
What a first 15 minutes. Miami 14, Florida State 14. The leading players, Miami's offense. Kenny Kelly 5 of 7, 2 touchdowns. Moss 3 catches, 106. Jackson a 45-yarder mixed in there. The good news for Miami fans, they recovered that fumble. The bad news is where they're at on the field right now. Their own 7-yard line. You got to be careful here. Kelly comes up throwing. Out to Fulcher, who's run out of bounds after a very short gain. And we go a long ways away to New York and John Saunders.
Brad, in the Big Ten, Minnesota has yet to lose, facing Wisconsin today. Ron Dayne, though, just pulls his way in around the left side. He has 10 carries for 38 yards, 7-7 the score. For more, go to the Bowl Championship Series online at ESPN.com, a part of the Go Network. And there's Michigan State leading Michigan 7-3.
2 big ones in the Big Ten here. Rivalry time for the Canes and the Noles. Kenny Kelly comes up firing. What a catch across the 20. And it might be enough for the first down. The forward progress of the officials apparently is going to give this to Andre King. He was knocked back inside the 20, but he stretched out and made one heck of a grab.
Unbelievable. That ball was halfway there when Andre King turned around. And that's the advantage of throwing those kind of curl routes, because Kenny Kelly knows where the guy's going to be. Watch this. Turns around, reaches back, catches the ball, moves up about a half yard, and then gets knocked back. You know, Brad, the officials have done a good job so far.
Yes, they have. And they know, too, that the emotions run higher in this than almost any other matchup these teams have over the course of the year, and they kept that in check pretty well, too. A first down at the 22. Now back to the ground. James Jackson. Nice tough run inside across the 25. Leon Rackley made the stop.
Really interesting, when we were talking to Butch Davis about Kenny Kelly, he said for him to win us the national championship, he has to just make plays. He doesn't have to make. And I'm going, wow.
He didn't even say Big East,
right.
did he?
I go, wait, we skipped a lot here, you know. And that's the focus of Miami.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're not. They want to get this guy to win the national championship.
He's played probably the best he's played all year so far in the first 16 minutes of this one. He's in trouble right now, though. Throws on the run and completes it. Penalty marker down in the secondary. He found his tight end, Bubba Franks.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against Clevan Thomas, number 8, corner on that play.
So they're going to get a first down out of this either way. Bubba Franks, huge target, 6'6", about 260. John Smith, our referee's counting things off and trying to give. They're going to decline the penalty and take the catch.
Take the completion.
Holding against the defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Bubba Franks, the tight end, most people consider one of the top NFL prospects in college football. First team all Big East. Caught 5 passes against Ohio State in the opening game of the year, and only 5 since then. So this is the first time they've used him today. Here's a counter by Jackson. Across the 40 to the 41, and James Jackson just keeps going for 4 or 5 yards on the inside.
What Daniel Franks is also valuable to this team is because he can handle the defensive ends for Florida State. Watch what he does right here. He's going to block one-on-one, and he at least gets a stalemate. Let's see what happens at the end of it. Actually, he gets more than that on that one. He ends up putting a guy on the floor. That's what a tight end can bring to this offense, and I think that's a guy that Miami should feature as they go through this game.
Jackson's already got 56 yards rushing. Moss in motion on a 2nd down and 5. Kelly zips it out. Santana Moss on the catch and diving to the 50, maybe to the 49. Another Hurricanes first down.
Kenny Kelly is really anticipating his throws. I mean, he's not waiting. He's letting it go. And I think this offense has sold the fact that Kenny Kelly is an incompletion is not the worst thing to happen.
Right.
Get it out of your hands.
His numbers today as good as he's had ever. And we still have a whole bunch of football left. He's 9 of 11. With 2 touchdowns, and he's hit 7 straight. First down just on the Seminoles side of the 50. And now not only a penalty against Florida State, but those two are going to mix it up a little bit. Chris Woods ran over the center, Ty Wise, and then just kept on running over it.
Dead ball, offsides defense, contact, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Kenny Kelly played in this game last year, but this is his first full year as a starter, and Gary talked with him about that.
It's hard being a quarterback at a major university, especially in your first year. But I think what helped, though, coming out playing against a team like Ohio State the first game, and East Carolina and some of the great teams, Penn State, I think that only helped me. I was thrown in the fire a little bit early, but hopefully in one of these games I can have a breakout game, and
I think this might be
a success for the rest of the season.
I think this might be their breakout game so far. Jackson on a 1st and 5 gets nothing to the inside of that Florida State defense. Brian Allen plugged the gap. Now everything's getting a little bit chippy on this drive right now. No flags flying, but it'll be 2nd down and 5. Brian Allen doing some jawing out there.
You know, Brad, one of the things, don't underestimate the effect that Georgia Tech had and the success they had against Florida State. There you look at his completion percentage, as we talked about earlier, dropping each game. But as you said, this is his best game so far.
They got an H-back in there now on 2nd down and 5. Play action. Kenny Kelly wants it all. Going long, just a little bit too far in front of Moss's intended receiver, and it was good coverage back there by Mario Edwards.
Well, Kelly can throw. He can. He's got a rocket. He doesn't have to throw it high in the air. He probably has a stronger arm than Chris Winkie does.
This one, he's not throwing from center field. He's throwing from the center of the backfield.
And he doesn't need a cutoff man to get it home either. Look at that. Not a lot of air, a lot of juice on it. Moss knew he couldn't catch it, so he just made sure nobody else did.
Miami started this drive at their own 11. 10 plays later, it's 3rd down and 5 at the Seminoles 45. Crowded. Doak Campbell trying to get into it for their defense.
Blitz look. Here they come.
Kelly throws a screen. Perfect call. Jackson, nobody in front of him. And he's got the first down at the 32-yard line. You talk about the perfect call with what was coming at him, and he hit Jackson in the hands, and it's first down Miami.
I mean, Brian Allen had it retraced his blitz and found his man right there. This thing could have gone a long way. Brian Allen's way back there chasing this play from behind. That's where the speed really helps out. That play looked like it was going to go 30-40 yards.
As it is, 12-yard pickup for James Jackson down to the 33-yard line. Man, what a game so far. 11-10 remaining in the half. 14-14. Moss in motion. Kelly pump fakes to him. It's a stop and go, and it's incomplete, and a flag. We're going to have interference on Clevan Thomas.
Yep. I don't know if that ball was catchable, but you never know when you got the Big East spin champion, right?
That's right. They don't have a stopwatch out there on him. Clevan's trying to plead his case right now. I'm afraid he's going to lose that battle. John Smith is our referee. Interference against the Seminoles.
It was a hitch and go this time. Remember, earlier in this drive, Moss had caught a short pass. This time he's going to look in, take a peek, and then go. And then Thomas will cut him off. Watch him cut him off. Boy, I don't know about that one. That was very close. It looked like both guys were kind of running into each other that time.
That'll give Miami a first down. And Clevan has come over to the sideline.
I just don't know if that ball was catchable. I really don't.
Mickey Andrews, defensive coordinator, was giving him an earful. And that will happen from time to time from that guy.
There's Mickey. He gives everybody an earful. I was scared he was going to yell at me.
16th season at Florida State, the defensive coordinator. He will get your attention.
Yeah, that's 5 penalties on Florida State, none on Miami. I want to be the first guy to say that in the history of Miami football. None against Miami.
First down for the Hurricanes inside the Seminoles 20 again. Jackson weaving around, and David Warren's the first guy that got a hand on him. He's going to lose a yard or two. Don't forget, next Saturday, some more great college football coming up on ABC. Linebacker LeVar Arrington and the Nittany Lions of Penn State will take on the Buckeyes of Ohio State. It's a Big Ten showdown in Happy Valley next Saturday, noon Eastern on ABC. Niall Diggs will be on the other side. Two pretty good linebackers. If you like to watch those big fellas rumble, that'll be next Saturday at noon Eastern. Second down at 12. Kelly throws. I thought that was going to be too high and hot for Franks, but he sucked that thing in, and he's down to the 14-yard line.
You know, for it to be too high for Franks, the people in the press box have to duck. You know, they think it's coming right at him. It's a great target. One of the things John Cooper from Ohio State said, this guy beat us. I mean, that tight end is the one who made the plays, plus blocked at the end of the line of scrimmage, and I think it's imperative that Miami continues to throw the ball to Franks.
In the red zone today. Once, and it was a touchdown as a result. 3rd and 6 here. Moss crosses the field. Kelly rolls that way, pump fakes, and lofts it to the end zone. Moss for the touchdown.
Oh, that's the worst pass of the game, and it ended up for a touchdown.
That's what they're thinking in the Florida State secondary right now. Kenny Kelly rolled to his left and just threw up a blimp shot, and Santana Moss is on the other end.
This is like a guy taking a 3-point shot. If you're the coach, you're going, no, don't throw it, don't throw it. He never saw this defender right here. Watch him overrun the ball. Derek Gibson was there for an interception. He just did not find the football.
Florida State has seen the Hurricanes take it down the field, and Kenny Kelly has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. The last one to Santana, and so far Florida State not gathering any moss. 89-yard drive. Kenny Kelly, I can't say he was perfect.
No, 7 for 8.
And that last pass was ugly, but that guy caught it.
Well, when he threw that ball, I thought for sure it was picked off. Derek Gibson was right in position to make the interception, but he never looked up, never saw the ball.
So Kenny Kelly, a career high 3 touchdown passes already, and we still got 9:40 to go in the second quarter. Crossland's back in there to kick. It'll be taken by Maddox at the 7. And Maddox, nice move at the 18, cuts outside, got about 10 extra yards. Let's go to Lynn Swan and Butch Davis.
Coach Davis, Kenny Kelly's having a great first half. How do you evaluate his performance? Maybe the best so far of the season.
Yeah, he certainly is playing extremely well. The supporting cast is helping a lot. We're getting a good job with our protection. Receivers are running excellent routes, giving them time to throw, and we're having some success with the running game, and that's going to be very important before the day's over with.
You expect this kind of shootout in the first half?
Well, you got an awful lot of good athletes on the field today.
Thanks, Coach.
That's an understatement.
I guess. Well, Florida State playing from behind. When's the last time you heard that comment? The 27-yard line. They trail by a touchdown with 9.5 to go in the half. Here's a toss. Travis Minor. And Minor only got about a yard.
I think we got a good shot at what I was talking about when this ball was let go by Kenny Kelly. Here he's going to sprint out to his left on this play, but watch when he releases the ball. Comes out, sprints out. Just as he's going to release the ball, there's the guy, Gibson, that can make the play. Throws it. There's the receiver. I thought it should have been thrown to the outside, but he throws it like a popsicle up there, and Gibson never finds it.
Here's Wenke, and he comes up throwing complete. Nice move by Dugans. First down catch out to the 39-yard line. So right back comes Florida State. And Wenke's counting bodies, counting wideouts. Morgan will come in. Dugans will go out. Atruz Bell coming in. That's that long list we talked about earlier that Florida State depth at wide receiver.
All these guys want the ball.
Yep.
They all think they're good.
And they're right. At the 40 from the shotgun. Minor on the inside handoff. Travis.
Good job.
Ooh, he really got pelted at the end of that play. Paid for that 4-yard pickup. Nate Webster put a hat on him at the end of the play. I was surprised that Dan Morgan was not as big as I thought he'd be, and Webster's maybe even shorter than Morgan is.
Well, there's been some great linebackers in Miami, and they've all been undersized guys. You know, Jesse Armstead, Ray Lewis, Darren Smith, Michael Barrow. They've all been that type of guy that runs to the ball. You know, 225-pound guys.
Morgan, you saw on the sideline, apparently having suffered an injury. We're going to check on that after this play. Second down and 6. Wenke's going to try to throw this away. A3's bell goes up and waves at it. Lynn, do you have anything on Morgan?
Well, he's standing on the sideline, Brad, because he has a pulled left hamstring. He did it earlier in the ball game. They are evaluating and looking at it. They'll get him in the halftime and check it out a little bit more. But right now, I don't think you can anticipate seeing him play in the next 8 minutes of this first half.
Boy, and he was one of those guys that wanted to be out and try to get a win against Florida State.
That's the same hamstring that forced him out of the East Carolina game when they had 300 yards run on him in the second half.
Yeah. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up right at the 8-minute mark remaining in the quarter. And Florida State has converted their last 5 straight 3rd down situations. They're going to have to hustle. They got the play off. Wenke rolls and throws on the run, completes it. And now they've hit 6 straight on 3rd down. And that Stringer, the guy he found for the 48-yard touchdown earlier, 1st down at the 40.
Same play. Go down there, fake the post, hook up, let the quarterback hit a standing target. Watch it. It's going to go down, post, and hook right at the end of it. Very, very simple throw for the quarterback to make. Post, stop. If you're going to shoot for food, if you're going to hit a bird, you'd rather hit a flying bird or a sitting bird. That's the way it is. Sitting bird.
Well, that bird sat down at the 40 with a 1st down. Here's a toss to Minor behind Kendrick. And he got about 2. Nice job by Damian Lewis. Get over there to cut him off and weave him back inside. Chris Wenke, 7 different guys he's found so far today. It's not a bad day number-wise for Chris Wenke. It just pales in comparison to Kenny Kelly.
You know, I think there's a sense around here that Chris Wenke is not all the way back from the injury the way he was playing prior to that injury in Virginia last year. He looks pretty good to me right now.
Miami almost jumped offside. Now Wenke changing things up on a 2nd down and 8 at the 38. With 3 wideouts, Wenke pumps once and lofts it, and it's caught. Penalty marker on the play. It's a 1st down at the 20. Marvin Minnis. And Chris Wenke said, you know what, I think I was hit after I threw that. And he's shaken up a little bit.
Remember, Chris Wenke has an 8-inch scar on his neck from last year when he had that surgery and missed the national championship game. Good coverage this time. Miami forced him out. Let's go to football. That's Nate Webster's right there. That's a good play. And Brad, excuse me, that pass was as bad as Kelly's.
It's almost exactly like the one that Moss caught a few minutes ago. So we're under 7 minutes. Wenke took a big hit, but it was a clean shot. And at the 19-yard line, Florida State right back in the red zone, trying to tie this thing up. 8th play of the drive. Travis Minor, fumble, and he covered it himself. Lost about 2 yards on the play. That's the 2nd time he's lost the handle today. That'll bring up 2nd down at about 12.
I think it was Al Blades again who made that play. Coming out, ball's run. Let's see who it is coming up to make the play. Yes, it is Al Blades. Gets his hand on it, and I think Al Blades kicked it, or that ball would have been laying in the middle of the field.
So Minor drops back down on it at the 22, where it's 2nd down and 12. Straight drop for Wenke. Plenty of time, and now running out of it, and running out of the pocket as well. He'll tuck it and go down the sideline. And Chris Wenke, pretty good run again, got it inside the 15. Chris Wenke is definitely the leader of this team. Bobby Bowden says in all his years he's never quite seen something like this.
He's the first player I have ever had, I say that in major college football, that is the quarterback that both sides of the ball listens to him. They look to Winky, and Winky, with his maturity, is probably the one best thing we got going for us right now.
He's a good thing he's got going for him, and he's got a little chance to come over and talk to his coach because his injured Hurricane on the field. Wenke, you can see, looks a little tired. He's been running for his life back there. He's thrown a touchdown. He's trying to get his team even with Miami when we come back. Little under 6 minutes left in the half. Our Aflac trivia question. Florida State currently holds the nation's longest home unbeaten streak, 48. When was the last time FSU lost at home? Think about that one. We'll give you the answer before intermission. Bobby Bowden looking on. Can his team pick up another third down conversion? They've been near perfect. They've hit 6 in a row on third down. It's 3rd and 9 here. Wenke to the end zone. Tight end touchdown. Ryan Sprague for the score. You talk about pulling out plays that nobody would expect. If you're a tight end in this Florida State offense, don't expect to see the ball a lot. And Sprague right down the seam for the score.
Nate Webster, number 52, should be covering the tight end. The safeties are wide out here. Back up, back up. There it is, right in the middle. When you try to help the receivers to the outside, put your safeties for help coverage. That means the tight end has to be covered by the middle linebacker.
Janikowski's extra point is good. So Chris Wenke with his second touchdown toss right down the middle to his big tight end. We're even at 21. 5:49 to go. Wenke to his tight end. You really wouldn't expect that play, would you?
No, that's the second time after a timeout on third down. Play to the fullback, play to the tight end.
Yep.
I mean, that's good coaching again.
Janikowski's kick might be returnable. Nope, going to take a knee. Moss will knee it down 5 yards in the end zone. Miami from the 20 after we check in with John Saunders in New York.
Comes off the bench for Michigan and does a nice job. 6 of 8 for 111 yards. This one 81 yards to Marcus Knight in the touchdown, as Michigan comes back to even this one at 10 apiece. As I mentioned, Henson off the bench, but he's led the comeback. Brad.
Tied there, tied here, John. 21 up, 5:43 remaining in the half. And it's the Hurricanes from their own 20. So Florida State had the answer to the last touchdown pass by Kelly, and Kelly over the middle, incomplete. Haven't been too many incompletions today. His favorite guy has been Santana Moss so far today, as he's been all over the field, it seems. And I don't mean about Moss growing on the field. I mean about growing on the Florida State defense.
Well,
there's a great move that he took for the long ball.
A combination of intensity, speed, and just football ability. Like Lynn Swann said, he's just not a runner. He's a guy that feels the game.
5 catches, averaging 26 a grab, and 2 touchdowns. And he's in motion on 2nd and 10. Jackson, as he met by Bradley Jennings and Sean Key right at the line of scrimmage. Florida State's defense now trying to get a little bit pumped up here. They want to give the ball back to their offense before intermission.
That last pass on first down by Kenny Kelly when he missed the tight end was the first pass that they've thrown out of the last 8 first down calls.
And he had him open.
Yep.
Just wasn't a good ball. 3rd and 10. They haven't been in 3rd and long too many times. One time when they were, they handed it off. They certainly don't give that kind of look here. From the shotgun, Kelly under pressure, and he got it complete. First down out to the 34 to Reggie Wayne.
When he take a shot,
I guess.
And this is what Kenny Kelly has to show his team. You can do as much as a quarterback getting up after a shot like that as you can show a team by throwing a touchdown pass. Watch this shot when he lets this ball go. Right in the
Reynolds
face.
got him.
Reynolds gets him. I'm not sure if it skipped or not, but everybody on that sideline for Miami saw that play.
We were talking about Florida State's efficiency on third down passing. How about those numbers? They keep their drive going. Straight up the middle with the fullback, Will McPartland, who had a concussion a couple of weeks ago against East Carolina, and they were questioning whether or not he'd be ready to play, and he goes for about 4 yards, almost 5, out near the 40-yard line.
Really have to talk about that Miami offensive line. Butch Davis said it. Hey, it's not just Kenny Kelly. It's not just Santana Moss. We got an offensive line that's doing a good job so far.
Talked about his 2 co-captains up there, Richard Mercier and Ty Wise, the left guard and the center, and they're doing a pretty good job because they're playing against Corey Simon and Jerry Johnson in there. Fulcher's in motion. Here's the long stretch. Handoff to Jackson, and Florida State starting to smell that one, I'll tell you that much. David Warren made the tackle. Up next, our college football doubleheader continues. Some great regional matchups for you in the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and out west. Those are the games you'll see. That's next at 3:30 Eastern. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network for all the games on pay-per-view. And don't forget, check out the Heisman Watch and weekly player profiles online, ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Miami looking to go 5 more yards on third down. Nice play fake. Kelly flushed, and now he'll keep it. Hurdles for maybe a first down.
See, he just did it again. He just told his whole football team, I'm not backing up 1 inch in this football game.
They may have to measure this, but that had Ortiz Jenkins written all over it, didn't it?
Wow, what a play. Whether it works or not, what a play. Bootleg, read well, gets outside with his great speed, and watch this. I mean, he took on 2 linebackers that time.
Those are the ones that you almost hope are a first down because of the effort, and it is a first down.
Remember John Elway in the Super Bowl?
Yep.
When he did that?
The helicopter spin.
Showed his football team that he was going to lay it on the line for him. It's exactly what Kenny Kelly has sold on his football team. Everybody will notice that.
This one's all we expected and maybe a little bit more so far.
Absolutely.
21-21. 2:50 left in the half. 7th play of the Hurricane drive now. They've had to work at it, though. 7 plays just to move it 25 yards. Jackson trying to do a cutback, and Corey Simon was waiting for him.
You know what else that play just did for Miami? It was probably the best defensive play Miami ran in the game so far.
Yeah.
Because now with, 2:30 to go in the half, it's not likely that Florida State is going to be able to move the other way.
Keep it out of their hands.
Exactly. That was a huge first down.
Clock is running at 2:17. A 2nd down and 9 coming up. The only thing that would hurt Miami now is to make a major blunder with a turnover, because they've got things going in their favor even though the scoreboard's tied. Play action. Kenny Kelly hits his tight end. He made the catch. Frank's wheels comes back to the 50, where it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
He is making some quick decisions out there.
He sure is.
Frank's coming off the line of scrimmage again. I think this is a great part of their game plan to use this big guy going up against those quick defensive backs for Florida State. Let's pound on them with your tight end. That's another way to be physical.
Down to a minute and a half in the half from midfield. They've converted their last 6. It's 3rd and 5. Kelly over the middle, incomplete. I think it was intended for Franks. It was thrown between Franks and Andre King.
Oh, that had to be interference, didn't it?
Well, I thought so, but no flag out there. Derek Gibson was one of the guys covering.
Let's see if Gibson grabs him. We got him isolated. Coming across, there's the jam while the ball's in the air. That's the definition of interference.
Well, that's what Bubba's trying to explain to the officials. They didn't see it that way. Capshaw's going to punt. And Reggie Durden back where Peter Warwick would normally be. First punt of the day for Miami. And it's not a good one.
Wow. You mean when it goes to the state trooper, it's not a good punt?
Not a good sign. Well, earlier we asked you the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time Florida State was beaten at home? The answer, remember, November 16th of 1991. Florida State kicker Jerry Thomas lines up 34 yards away with 25 seconds to go, and it was wide right. The hopes for a national championship spoiled by Miami. Bobby Bowden didn't even know he missed it at that point. Final score, Miami 17, Florida State 16.
I'm going to have to swallow my prediction of Florida State not being able to come back. That was a horrible punt.
You didn't expect it to only go 12 yards, Gear.
Right.
And so Florida State does have time and position from the 38. They will keep it on the ground, though. And Travis Minor goes for about 5 out to the 43. Down to a minute remaining in the half. 4 wideouts for Wenke. Florida State's got a couple of timeouts left to work with. Wenke's going to throw it over the middle, in and out of the hands of Minor, and it's intercepted. Nate Webster, the middle linebacker, waiting on the skip, and he's got it to the 42-yard line. Penalty marker at the end of the play.
That's the second cough up, really, by Florida State that has really kept Miami in the football game.
3 times today, Minor's had a hard time either holding it or fumbling it after he got it.
The ball was thrown very softly this time. You would think that Minor would be able to handle this. Didn't throw it very hard. It was a little bit off target, but you expect your guys to grab those, and there's the big guy. Middle linebacker comes in, Webster, to make the play.
So that gives it right back. Advantage Miami. Hurricanes with 44 seconds left.
It does, but then you get one of those hurricane 15-yard penalties to back it up.
Now that one was not Chris Wenke's fault. Probably about half the interceptions quarterbacks throw are. I know Gary loves that Hail Mary thing at the end of halves.
Yeah,
but
not count that one. But it was not extremely accurate. You don't want to give your guys one of those throws to high and wide like that, but it's something you don't expect to be intercepted either.
So with the penalty, he backs it up to the 41-yard line. 3 wide receivers for Kenny Kelly now. King and Moss to the near side, and Santana goes in motion back to the right. Kenny Kelly rolls that way. He wants Moss. Airing it out. Triple coverage. Almost intercepted and almost caught by Moss. Probably not a wise throw, but they almost got away with it.
Tate Cody came across that time, made a nice play, because I thought Moss was going to judge that thing perfectly and make another catch. Coming from the opposite side of the field, way across, this is the guy that's going to make the play. Watch this. Cody says, I don't have anything in my area, so what's happening outside? Just keep your head up, make the play. That's good defense. If Gibson would have done that, he'd had an interception.
True. Kelly, 14 to 20, 215 yards, 3 touchdowns, and looking for 10 more to keep this drive alive. Andre King in motion. Now they're going to keep it on the ground. Jackson straight up the gut, and he goes for about 4. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Ford Outfitters. No boundaries. Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better. Aflac, without it, no insurance is complete. And Bud Light, with a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light. Inside Doak Campbell Stadium, we have got a beauty going, and we're down to 10 seconds, and that's going to be just about it for the half.
You think there isn't some respect for Florida State of the offense? Can you imagine them not using their timeouts in that situation, Florida State?
Well, the war we talked about is a stalemate so far. But what a battle we've got yet to wage in the second half. Halftime in Tallahassee. Florida State 21, Miami 21. Halftime at Doak Campbell Stadium. Florida State 21, Miami 21. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson back with you. You know, I think this one's been everything we expected. You kind of wonder who's going to have the ball last, but the 2 guys that are throwing the ball are sure doing it well.
There's been some great quarterbacks in this series, but I don't know if they've ever had a better half than these 2 guys did in this game. I mean, it's been unbelievable how well they've been throwing the ball around. The comparison between the 2 quarterbacks have been great. 14 for 20 from one guy, 12 for 18. That's basically even. And all those touchdown passes by some big play receivers without the biggest play receiver in the game.
And they've been almost perfect with their 3rd down conversions. Swanee's down on the sideline with Butch Davis.
Coach, halftime, what did you say to your team?
Well, certainly on offense, we've got to continue doing the things, having competitive balance, running and passing, moving the ball, keep working. Our play action game has been good to us. Defensively, we've got to get the huddle calls to the kids. We've got to give them the chance to digest exactly the personnel group, what the alignments are, get the huddle calls to them earlier. I think it'll let our kids play a little bit more aggressive in the second half.
Your comments to Kenny Kelly, he's playing so well and under control.
Yeah, he's playing with a lot of poise, a lot of confidence. He continues to get better. He's going to have a good half the second half. Thanks.
Coach, thank you.
All right, guys. Kenny Kelly, without a doubt, the best football game he's ever played, and we still have a half to go. And if you just, for some reason, turn this game on, we're tied at 21. We're set to start the third quarter. Sit back. You probably won't be able to relax. It's been that good. Janikowski doesn't knock this one out of the end zone, but it is a touchback for the 4th straight time today. And they'll come out to the 20-yard line. The Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half statistics.
Well, you can see the guys down in the truck are right on. Those 2 turnovers by Florida State has really kept Miami, who's been successful, but it's really kept them in the ball game. And that's been the difference. Both teams not bad rushing the football. Right. Not bad. Good enough.
Travis Myers had trouble holding on to the football today, but it was Kendra who was the guy that fumbled. It was Minor who had a pass from Wenke skip off his hands that Webster intercepted. Those are the 2 turnovers we're talking about. Miami first down. Jackson cutback run. And he's out to the 25, maybe the 26. Tommy Polley holding on for dear life. Will drag him down. And it'll bring up second down and a long 4.
Butch Davis was so careful to say we have to continue to run the football. We don't have to make 100 yards. Watch Seymour. Watch after the ball is handed up. He checks Kelly. In a way, that's like blocking, a half a block that time for Kenny Kelly.
Second down and 5. The out. Moss makes the catch, and he was already thinking about where he was going to go with it. That is why he's always thinking big play, but he makes the catch, hangs on. Tay Cody made the tackle. A pickup of 8 and a first down. You can see Santana just went, darn, I thought I was going to get more out of that than the 8 yards.
As good as the 2 quarterbacks have been in this football game, I think he's been the most impressive player on the football field.
He's been great. 137 yards for Santana on 6 catches. When Gary and I talked to him yesterday, I know you looked at me and said, man, is that kid focused and ready.
He was ready.
He's out right now. Moser in there at a wideout spot on a first down. They'll probably keep it on the ground, and Will Jackson follows his blockers, cuts outside, and dives to the 40. Following Mercier, his guard, and holding right onto his rear end just about until he found a little bit of room and went for 7.
You're right about Mercier. You're also right about right here. Watch this wham block by the fullback that time. Fulcher just comes in and just levels him. Mercier has started more games. In fact, he has a chance to be the all-time leading starter of games at University of Miami. He played every snap of every game last year for Miami.
The French Canadian out of Montreal, Quebec, Richard Mercier. He's done a good job today, mowing people down. Second down and 3. Cut back by Jackson, and he's close, but about a yard short. I think Bradley Jennings and Sean Key on top of him for the stop. Miami's had such hard times against Florida State in the last 4 games. That's total. That's not the average. That's total yards on the ground, and today they're only 50 short of that.
That's why Butch Davis is so happy with what they've done in the first half.
Remember, 2 years ago, they were held to minus 33 yards in this matchup. Here's a third down and a big yard on the opening march of the third quarter for the Canes. Fullback in front of Jackson. Can he get there? Nope. Tommy Polley won't let it. Nice play by the outside linebacker, the junior out of Baltimore.
It's a long way to run a short yardage play against a defense that can run so well. Look at that defense for Florida State. They just run, and they all make plays. Cleaned up by Polley, but it was really a 9 or 10-man defensive stop right there.
Freddie Capshaw to punt. His first punt looked like Kate Capshaw kicked it. And this one is a beauty. Wow. Durden's got to back up and let it go.
Stop.
And it's going to die inside the 5. I take back everything I ever said about the walk-on punter who made his first start against East Carolina. His first kick today was a nightmare. That one was a beauty. Chris Wenke set to come out near his own 1-yard line. He was talking with Mark Richt, his offensive coordinator, late in the second quarter. Here's how that conversation went.
What happened on that? Did you rush it, or did they rush you?
Well, see,
you rushed
what I tried to do is avoid a guy that was coming. He was right in the lane, and I knew there was a, that safety went to the middle of the field.
Yeah.
And there's a wide open curl.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
there. It's just
I just tried to avoid a guy coming in with his hands up.
Okay. Did you get the wind knocked out of you a little bit? Yeah. Is that what it was, though? Is there anything else than that?
No,
Are you a little dizzy, too, or?
Nothing.
You sure?
Fine.
All right, I want to make sure now.
Near their own goal line, Cheney gets about 2 extra yards.
And that was a good job by Mark Richt that time. First of all, he said, what happened in the one pass? You didn't hit him. That was, what, one of them, 3.
Right.
Coach is always demanding. But then he wants to know how well he's going to be for future calls. Where are you hurt? Is it your ankle? Is your wind?
Is it
head
your
a little
head?
dizzy?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And, I had to make sure that it was Winky on the right. I didn't know which one was the old one and the young one. I had to keep looking for that, sir.
Rick's the married guy with kids. Wenke's is number 16 under center with a 2nd down and 9. He's set to throw from his own end zone. Completes it out close to a first down to Dugans. And Leonard Myers is draped all over Dugans. Blades and Dugans have a few words.
When Chris Wenke has the opportunity to set up, put his back foot in the ground, step into a throw, he's very, very accurate. Miami early in this game tried to put pressure on him. What, 70-yard touchdown? How far was that one?
48.
48-yard touchdown. 70 yards in the air, 48 yards on the ground. That's why Miami has backed off a little bit and says, we can't give you these one-play touchdowns.
Dugans got the first down out at the 13-yard line. So some room to work now for Florida State. And it's Minor who breaks a tackle into the secondary. Travis Minor, 40, midfield, got some blockers, cuts back. Another blocker inside the 25. Travis Minor all the way to the 8-yard line. Flag down back at the 40. But Travis Minor just went 78 yards.
Jermaine Stringer clipped on the play. It's going to come back. Nice run right here. Miami's looking for the pass again. Minor, after he dropped a couple plays, this time he finds his way through. You can see the type of runner he is. He takes this electrifyingly down the field, but on the left side of the screen, you saw the block from behind.
A long ways for not much.
Yeah, it'll be a point foul, so it'll be spot foul, so it will be a first down though.
It's going to be about the 45-yard line, I'm guessing, or maybe midfield. Where are they going to put it down? Right at the midfield stripe. So instead of down inside the 10, it's back out at the 50.
One more look. You see the block from behind right there? That one was pretty easy to call.
Yep.
That's why Florida State, that's why they score almost 40 points every game this year. You let up for a half second. You don't know which guy. They've had a fullback score a touchdown, a tight end score a touchdown, and now you got the draw play almost for another touchdown.
They fake the draw there, and Wenke comes up throwing to Dugans. And in and out of his hands, it's down. He did make the catch, but they blow it dead at about the 47. Phil Buchanan was the guy they're covering.
Phil Buchanan is another true freshman that's playing for Miami. He's replacing Leonard Myers, who got beat on that touchdown. Remember, Myers got hurt. He got nicked early in that second quarter. And Buchanan's done a nice job so far.
2nd down at 7. Florida State back in Miami territory at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. And tied at 21. Cheney on a toss sweep. Cheney, nice cut. Oh, man, did Blades hit him head on.
Snapped his neck back, didn't he?
Ooh, hurt my neck.
I think because Webster had him around his feet, and Blades got him up there high.
There's been a lot of Blades in the Miami program over the years. This is another in the long line.
Run around the NC. Webster grabs him by the feet. Wow, that's a straighten out one right there. Empty backfield, 5 wide receivers, or 5 wide receiver types in the game.
3rd down at 4 for Wenke. All by himself. Going to roll to his left. And now fires on the run, and what a catch by Atruz Bell. ring up another first down. He caught the back end of that football, I think.
Atruz Bell caught his first touchdown pass this year against North Carolina, and you could see all these receivers now getting comfortable. They all want the ball. Chris Winkie comes out, gets away from the rush, takes a hit as he lets it go, but that's a nice fingertip catch right there.
That's a beauty. Third down has been brilliant today for Florida State, and especially that guy, Winkie. 8 for 8. 8 different receivers, and 7 of them have netted first downs, including this one up to 27. Minor on the toss, got a nice block, flag down again, and again they're going to bring back a good run by Travis Minor. Travis pretty soon is going to say, guys, you know, I want you to block for me, but I'd kind of like to get the yards.
That might have been on Stringer again. Either that or Tyrus Thomas, number 60. It was one of those two guys.
That would have been about a at least 7 or 8 yard gain. Here's the call.
During the run, holding offense. 10 yards assessed from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
There's the penalty. The walk-off against Florida State gives us a chance to remind you tomorrow, world silver medalist and U.S. champion Michelle Kwan faces world champion from Russia, Maria Utyrskaya, in the Kerry Lotion Figure Skating Classic. The USA against Russia tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific on ABC Sports. I know my daughter will be watching tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Here's a little flare intended for Travis Minor. Incomplete. And with a break here, let's check in with John Saunders in New York. John?
Well, Brad, you've got number 1 all tied up here on the Burger King update. It's been a struggle for the teams at the top. Number 2, Penn State, Randy Reiners of Iowa, 40 yards to Rob Tyne, as Iowa pulls within a touchdown of number 2. And Michigan, number 3, they are losing. Brad.
Number 1, as you said, John, deadlocked with 9 to go in the third with number 21. 43rd meeting of the Canes and the Noles. 8th play of the Florida State drive. And they won't get it snapped here. Penalty marker on the play. And Florida State killing themselves right now.
Absolutely. The big run, they have the clip, they have a holding penalty on a great run.
Movement, practice, snap.
It was already second 20. What is it, second 25 now?
John talked about the Penn State game against Iowa. Joe Paterno, 312 wins. Bobby Bowden approaching 300. Our Applebee's game facts comparing the two coaches of the top 2 teams in the country. Wouldn't it be fun if those two got together in the Sugar Bowl?
That would be.
That'd be a beauty.
That would be unbelievable.
Long ways to go, though, before the Nokia Sugar Bowl on ABC in early January.
They're faking the blitz. They're not going to come in this situation, are they?
Second
they're
down
going to bail out.
28.
They're bailing out.
Throw out Anquan Bolden. And here's a guy that the Florida State coaches think can be the next Peter Warrick with what he can do with his hands on the football. He got 12 yards there on the reception.
Miami are trying to force Florida State into a quick throw by lining up in a blitz look and then bailing out after the snap, and it was successful. Florida State threw it, but they still picked up about 10 yards.
And they give themselves a chance with that 12-yard gain on 3rd and 16. 3 wideouts from the 33. They're in field goal range right now. When you think about Janikowski, and they throw, and they're in better shape now. Tall man Gardner didn't get the first down, but he got it down to the 22-yard line. Nice catch. Leonard Myers knocked him out, and here comes a field goal unit.
We talked in pregame that you won't notice much about Florida State's passing game until after they catch the ball. I think that's held up. You know, they're completing passes. They're just not making those huge plays after the catch.
Well, that was a rarity. They didn't pick up the 3rd down, but then they had 3rd and a mile. They've got 4th and 4 now. Marcus Outzen to hold. Sebastian Janikowski. There's his numbers on the year. 12 of 15. This is a 38-yard field goal attempt to try to get Florida State the lead back. And he nailed it. First field goal of the day, and it's given the top-ranked Noles the lead back. Chris Winkie, after 8 straight conversions on 3rd down, couldn't get the last one. You see Chris on the right there with a headset. But he did get it close enough for Janikowski to knock in the 38-yard field goal. And so Florida State's back in front. 76-yard drive, 10 plays. They had to settle for 3, but that's 3 they're going to need somewhere along the line. You can't stay tight all day.
Has to be a very frustrating game for these two front fours. They're used to dominating quarterbacks, and both quarterbacks are throwing the ball quickly and not even feeling any pressure.
Janikowski blasted out of the end zone. 5 kickoffs, 5 times Miami's had to work from the 20. And here comes Kenny Kelly, who's had a career day. And now he's got to play from behind again. There's the numbers on Kenny. Twice to Santana Moss and 1 to Reggie Wayne.
Got a kick out. Media guy saying he's the fastest quarterback in Miami history. That's not hard. Kelly, Kozar, Steve Walsh, Toretta.
He had a few statues in there.
Man, the Europeans play faster golf than those guys ran.
First down from the 20. Play fake. Kelly over the middle. Incomplete intended for Reggie Wayne. Derek Gibson, the safety. Nice hit.
How about this shot of the Miami QBs?
There they are.
Testaverde, Kelly, Kozar, and here's Mark Richt, Earl Morrow right there.
Don't forget Kyle Vanderwen, number 13, Gary.
You got Kyle.
I got Kyle.
He's probably making more money than the rest of them, right?
Mark Richt, who had one of his better games as a backup to Jim Kelly against Florida State, had a 247-yard passing game one time. Second down and 10 for the Canes, trailing by 3. Kelly, play fake, scrambles, wide open is Moss over the middle, puts a great move on, and then wiped himself out with his own footwork. But it's a first down.
Santana Moss is a wonderful receiver, as quick as anybody's seen. Good job inside by the Miamis. They got some good defensive tackles. I think Simon, Jerry Johnson, all day they've been making a wall inside and letting Kelly step up and throw the football all over. Get Santana. Whoops. Whoops. This guy's can he move?
Yep.
And he's fearless. Absolutely fearless.
At the 32, first down. Moser in motion. They'll give it to the fullback. And you're not going to see a lot of that today. Second time the fullbacks carried the ball. First time that Fulcher has. It was McPartland the other time. Got about 2 up the middle. Santana Moss with Randy Moss type numbers.
Exactly, isn't it? I mean, I didn't know if he'd be able to hold on to that yardage. Average, rather, 20 yards a catch coming into this game, but he's doing it.
Yep. Career high for him so far, and we have a long way to go. And I know he'll touch it again before it's over. Second down and 8. Hurricanes at their own 34-yard line. Andre King in motion. Kenny Kelly dropped the ball, found the handle again, and got rid of it.
Man, that's just a tremendous play to get another play.
With Jamal Reynolds draped all over him, he scooped it up and got rid of it, threw it out of bounds in the Florida State sideline. They wanted an intentional grounding call, but as Gary said, it was a great play to get that thing out of there.
You can tell what an outstanding athlete he is. He's a baseball player, obviously drafted in the second round. Kind of gets the ball knocked out of his hand by faking on the play action, and then has enough presence to say, let me just get rid of this thing to get the third down.
On third down, he's 4 out of 6.
And he's hit 4 different receivers. 2 tight ends in the game now.
Third and 8 here. Goes to his only wideout that was out there and skipped it off his hands. Reggie Wayne just a little bit high. And Miami's got to give it up.
I'm wondering if that ball was tipped. That's the first one that really got away from Kelly. It just sailed on him. Play action pass. Let's see if we don't get a tip right here. Nope, that ball was just high all the way.
Just sailed one a little bit. Freddie Capshaw dropped one at the 1-yard line last time.
Whoa.
This time he won't get it away. The penalty marker stopped play.
That was a good whistle.
You're not kidding.
For Miami, at least.
Jeff Chaney was about to take Capshaw's leg
Good
off.
ball, false start, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Now he can air it out as much as he wants if he's got that much leg. He showed it last time with a 57-yard kick. Reggie Durden is the guy waiting on the other end. And Reggie, of course, is not Peter Warrick as a return man, but he's not bad. And he'd love to do a imitation of number 9. And behind Capshaw. Another nice punt. Durden will have a chance, though, from the 22. Got by the first and second man. Here's a flag. It's going to come back. Boy, Florida State cannot return a punt this year without a penalty, with the exception of that 75-yarder a couple weeks ago against North Carolina by Warrick. They can't seem to buy one without having a penalty flag thrown.
You know, it's killing him not to be out there returning these punts. This is the last punt return he thinks he's going. And then he sees the flag, I think, and he goes, oh, man, I've been through it. I've been through it. Yep.
Seen that laundry list.
Yep.
6:13 remaining third quarter. They are 5-0, and they're number 1 in the country, but man, would they like to have some of that 167 punt return yards that they've lost due to penalties back this season.
Bobby doesn't get on those headphones too much and tell Mark Richt what to do, but I think he's doing it right now.
They'll work from the 20-yard line. Wenke, 2 touchdown passes today. And the toss to Travis Minor. And Minor maybe 3 yards. Nate Webster came over, made the stop. You know, Swanee, you might be the only guy that hasn't caught a pass for Florida State today.
That might be true, because Wenke has really moved the ball around. Look at those fantastic numbers. All the different people have caught passes and the outcome. And keep in mind, coming into this ball game, 19 different people had caught passes for Florida State. You take out Warrick, you take out Coles, that's 17 different people who have pass catching experience for today's ball game.
Landon, 8 different ones today.
Inside handoff. Webster makes the tackle on Minor. There's Peter Warrick, and again, I'm sure you would have had to been living somewhere in a cave or out of the country to not have heard the news about his indefinite suspension after being charged with a 3rd-degree felony theft in the past week here in Tallahassee, along with teammate Lavernius Coles, who was another starting wide receiver, has been dismissed from the team. And of course, the Heisman Trophy candidacy of Warrick very much in doubt. It all depends on court situations yet to come. 3rd down. Pump fake by Wenke. Flushed. Pumps again. Got away again. Throws back across his body, and he got his man at the 40.
Oh, man.
Marvin Minnis. That's like a cardinal sin, isn't it, Gary?
I tell you, Chris Wenke and Kenny Kelly ought to go play a lottery ticket. They make some throws today that have been unbelievable. Nate Webster is sitting there waiting to intercept this ball. He's baiting Wenke to throw it. He throws way across his body and completes another one. Both these guys are charmed today.
They are.
They're playing well, but
yes,
they're getting some fortunate breaks, too.
Minnis with a 1st down grab out at the 43. 4 wideouts. Play fake, and Wenke goes down. What a nice job by Damian Lewis, the captain defensive tackle, who drops Wenke for a huge loss. Let's check in with John in New York.
Brad, number 3, Michigan, still in a struggle against Michigan State. And one of the reasons, Bill Burke had a terrific game. Here, 19 yards, hooking up with Gary Scott to give the Spartans a 20-10 lead. Penn State, meanwhile, has the lead over Iowa. For more, go to the Bowl Championship Series online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network.
Number 3, 10 points down. Number 1 leading by 3 with 4 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wenke throwing the slip screen. Bolden dropped it. Incomplete. Miami saying they intercepted it off the deflection, but the officials disagree. And that'll bring up 3rd down and long. Tonight, talk about some good football. We'll switch conferences when you turn on ESPN in the SEC. 9th-ranked Georgia. They're living on the edge, but they are in the top 10, and they take on the defending national champs and 6th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. T. Martin and the Volunteers home to Jim Donnan's Dogs. Should be a good one. Florida State is 9 of 11 on 3rd down today.
Well, this will crush Miami if they pick up this one.
3rd and 18.
Yep.
Wenke wants to throw a screen to Minor. Couple blockers in front. Waits for one of them. Then bursts out of there, but nice job staying home by Edward Reed, the safety. And it's time to punt for Florida State. That's just exactly what Miami needed. After seeing the field goal on the last drive by Florida State and then their offense sputtering, you know they were hoping to force a kick, and they had.
big play was by Damian Lewis. You called it, the captain that time. Got that sack and put Florida State behind the yardage marker, and that's going to force the punt.
Got Terrell to kick. Santana Moss, his longest punt return this year, 42 yards, is averaging just under 12. He may or may not get a chance at this one. They're going to try to keep it away from him. And it's a nice kick. It's a beautiful kick. Cottrell has done what his counterpart did earlier this quarter, dropped one inside the 5, a 52-yard kick. So Miami's got it back, but they're deep in a hole. They did stop Florida State courtesy of Lewis last time. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Lynn Swan and our ABC crew in Tallahassee, where Florida State leads Miami by 3 with 3:02 to go in the third quarter. And this is the worst starting field position of the day for the Hurricanes. Thanks to Janikowski's kicks, it's usually the 20. Now they're at their own 3.
I think if you're Miami, you have to realize if you don't get a first down, it's going to at least cost your team 3 points.
Good point. They go with a 2 tight end set, and the eye backfield behind Kelly. Trying to power that thing out of there. At least that's what they give you, but it's play action, and it's Kelly to Moss.
Oh, what a wonderful route.
Out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Santana Moss is saying, Peter who?
No, how about this? Torrey Holt. I mean, there have been receivers that catch the ball against this defense because it's man-to-man. Watch this. Come down, go out, fake the post, and then run the deep corner route. It's the ball. It wasn't to Moss, but it's the pass. And last week, Kenny Kelly missed on that first play.
Well, there's 2 reasons why that happens. Give credit to that offensive line for the time, and you've got a receiver who understands how to play the game, reads the defense, and is 100% in control on every pass pattern.
Len, one more thing. Throwing the ball on first down.
Oh, absolutely. The defense, can't get their ears back. They don't know what you're doing. They're a little bit off balance. He gets a chance to come down and work that guy, and as the game progresses, he gets to know a little bit more about what he can do. Hopefully at this point as a wide receiver, what Santana Moss is also doing is while he gets yardage and makes a complete play, he's also setting them up for something big here in the second half.
He's been big already.
And Torrey Holt that Gary alluded to, of course, a sensational rookie now in the NFL, but had the huge game in North Carolina State's upset of Florida State last year. You can throw Des White in the mix too.
Yep.
Had a huge game for Georgia Tech this year. 2nd down and 8. Kelly zips it out. That one behind Moss.
It's okay. You're going to miss a couple of those because you're anticipating them every once in a while.
Can't be perfect. Coverage by Cleveland Thomas out there.
We asked Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, will you ever take off the bump and run because you have a great receiver? Can talent change your style? Nope. We run the same stuff.
3rd down and 8. Miami has missed its last 3 third-down conversions. Let's see if they try to get it to Moss.
Let's look here.
Here they come. Kelly over the middle to his tight end, Franks. I think he's a little bit short.
I think he is too.
Bubba Franks stretching out. And he's a little bit shaken up at the end of the play.
Yeah, Bubba Franks has been an impact player in this football game, not just catching the ball. Remember that long run early in the game? Franks had the key block. Watch it right here. Just dominates. One of those big defensive ends for Florida State. Pancake. Catches the ball. Bad throw. Whoop, I'll catch that thing, no problem. He's been all over the field, and that's a comfort to have a guy like that.
Kick by Capshaw. Durden waits. Catches it in front of his eyes at the 20. And spins his way for about a 7-yard return. 43-yard kick. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different. Applebee's. You belong at Applebee's. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. There's the Westcott building. Stand at the main gate of Florida State's campus, housing the president's office.
Hey, Brad, don't lose the importance of Miami's last drive. They didn't score. They didn't get any points. But look how far they pushed Florida State back in a field position thing. The own 28-yard line, that's a big drive for the offense for Miami that no points showed for.
Wenke flares it out of the backfield. Nice catch by Travis Minor. He didn't get much out of it, and Winky got deposited by Burrow after he let go of the football.
A little surprised here. Florida State is going so much I formation on first down. I don't know if it's because Chris is limping a bit and they're trying to protect him or what, but it seems like they're doing a lot of two-backs. As you look at the FSU offense, Chris done a great job. Travis Miners exploded for that run to do it. And spreading out, as Lynn Swann said, spreading out the offense seems that Mark Richt is calling a very strong game here.
They fake the pitch to Miner. Here comes the heat from the corner. Winky somehow got away. In and out of the hands and not caught. His tight end had it, and Stringer caught the ricochet at the 45.
I don't have enough time to say that everything happened on this one. Can I take a timeout?
Charm is all we have to say.
Corner blitz this time. I thought this was going to be a knockout blow. Watch this. Corner blitz. Ducked somehow by a fence post type quarterback right there. Winky gets it off and boink, boink, and hit a 3 cushion.
And the 86 ball caught it at the 45. Under 50 seconds in the quarter. Winky. Play action. Heat coming again, and he got sandwiched that time.
Ain't going to get away from this one.
Burrow and Joseph all over Chris Winky. 3rd sack and a loss of 10 as we head to John Saunders in New York.
The Michigan State rivalry is about as tough as it gets today. And unfortunately for the Wolverines, Bill Burke is having a great day, and so is Plaxico Burress. 9 receptions, 239 yards at 27-10.
And I were talking about Plaxico the other day, Gary Scott. They're both having huge days, and here we got receivers having huge days all over the field as well, and the best one's not even on the field. 2nd and 20. Winky, deep drop, got hammered as he threw, incomplete. And Chris Winky, after talking to Mark Richt earlier when he said, do you feel all right? I don't think he's going to feel that great after this series, as Damian Lewis let him have it after he delivered that football. That one ends the 3rd quarter. As you see Chris Winky getting heat from one of the co-captains on defense. Lewis takes him down to end the 3rd quarter. And ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Set to start the 4th quarter. 24-21 Florida State. And 3 hours ago, this was the scene on the field at Doak Campbell Stadium before they headed to the locker room for the final time. Everybody ready to do a little battle. All the coaches in the way of those players, and nobody has taken a step back. Winky flags down. He's down. Popovich on a blitz from the secondary. 3rd sack of the day of Winky, but again, penalty marker on the play. A holding call against Florida State.
Holding against the offense. The penalty is declined.
It'll be declined because it's punting time.
Jeff Popovich came in there, but he was really, for the offense, a linebacker. They had a dime set in there, so that should have been picked up by either a running back or an offensive lineman. So quarterback didn't miss a read or anything. That was just a poor protection scheme for Florida State.
Got trailed a punt. You saw Santana Moss way down there in the background waiting on it. About the only thing he hasn't done. One hop on the snap. Cottrell kicks it off the side of his foot out of bounds. This is going to be great field position for Miami around the 45 or maybe better. Maybe closer to midfield. Hurricanes great field position down 3 when we come back. .35 to go, and Miami's got it back. Remember what Gary talked about with the field position, that they needed a first down when they're at their own 3, even though they had to punt. They had to give it up at their own 37, and now after their defense stiffens, they get it back at the 49. That's field position.
Absolutely. Look at that. 1 drive difference, and they got the ball at the 49-yard line. That's how you play offense. That's why they threw on first down coming out of their own end zone.
You saw their offensive stars, huge days by their quarterback, their tailback, and especially Santana Moss, who's in motion. And he gets it on an end around. But they're all over it is Florida State. Jamal Reynolds stayed home and made a nice play.
See, that's one of the calls that I don't agree with. Remember, we showed how the defensive ends, Reynolds and Seymour, were always checking the quarterback. They've been taking wide pass, and now to try to run a reverse into those wide. This guy's coming up here to stop the quarterback, and he falls right into the reverse. Comes upfield because he says, quarterback, I respect you, and here he is landing right into a reverse. That is not a good call.
It lost him 5 yards. Second down along 15. Fulcher in motion. Kelly rifles it, almost picked off. Dion Rackley, the senior linebacker, got a paw on the way. And it's third down and long.
The first down play has gotten Miami's whole drive out of sight here.
And it's gotten Florida State's defense fired up.
It sure has. And it's just one of those situations now where Kenny Kelly tried to do too much on a play. He had a guy wide open in the flat and tried to make a big play to make up those yards. Punt's not the worst thing in the world.
There's a good looking ahead. Third down efficiency. They've been slipping a little bit as the game's gone on. And they'll have to earn this one. Third down and 15. Kelly drops, rolls. Here comes Reynolds again. Got by him, got a block. Still keeping his eyes open, trying to throw, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Miami still has not been sacked in 29 pass play attempts, but that one was close. And now they've got to give it back to Florida State.
Great pressure this time on Kenny Kelly. Only as good an athlete as him could get out of it. Watch, that was the freshman right there, Portis, that didn't block his guy. I don't know. I don't know if he thought there was a whistle or whatever, but he was just standing there on the play.
Capshaw to punt. Durden's waiting on the other end. Nice kick. Let's see, is it going to go out of bounds? It will. Where will they spot this? This should be somewhere inside the 10. It's at the 3-yard line again. And Capshaw, the walk-on punter, a 51-yard kick, has buried Florida State back at its own 3. That's enough to make a coach happy.
On the sideline with Bobby Bowden. Coach, field position has not been in your favor very much in this second half.
No, that's right. The second half, our defense is playing better. Offense is not doing anything. But the same thing's happening to them. They've been real successful coming off their goal line. Now we're going to get a chance to see if we can come off ours.
How can you get Winky a little more time? They seem to be able to pressure him better, too.
They're just doing a better job. They're putting the pressure on him. We might have to go to the quick passing game because they're bringing more people now.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Remember this situation when Miami came off this same end line right here. First down pass, opened it up. There's a lot of space. These cornerbacks feel all the space behind them when they're standing out there in that bump and run position.
For Miami, it was the deep out to Santana Moss. Let's see if Florida State might try to do that. Wink, pump fakes. He wants to streak down the sideline at Dugans. Interference is going to be called on Leonard Myers, it appears.
Dugans ran one of those hitches and goes or slant and goes, whatever you wanted, and Myers panicked. He said, one thing I don't want is a 97-yard touchdown pass. I'm already on the Tennessee poster. I don't need another poster from Miami.
Gary, I think this is one of those situations where you do miss a Peter Warwick because just like Santana Moss, when you've got his speed and you're that dangerous, the cornerbacks would play you off a little bit more. You'd even call a different play.
Well, they were, you're right. And I think, you know, as we talked to defensive coordinator Greg Schiano, he said, I have to give a half guy to wherever Peter's lined up. And in this situation, you got the free safety, Al Blades, in that case, stayed in the middle of the field.
Florida State with a first down by penalty. Only 3 penalties on the day against Miami, but that one hurts them. Straight up the middle and across the 15. Travis Minor got about 3. Travis's 9th 100-yard game already in the book today with 107. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. In recognition of those athletes, Chevrolet makes a contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Pickup of 3 for Travis Minor. Coach Davis wondering if this is the time he'll be able to beat Florida State as a head coach. He's 0 for 4. Here's a quick slant. Dugans, cross field, across the 40, 50, down the sideline is Dugans. All the way to the 30-yard line. 54-yard pass play.
Well, Bobby Bowden just told us what we're going to do. He says we're going to throw the short pass, and that's exactly what happened on this. The quick slant comes over. Right here, nobody on him. Look, no pressure, just throw it to him. It's a gimme pass. Catch it and throw it. Nobody on him, throw it. Now watch this block from Stringer right here. Watch him run to make one block on this play. Boom! Perfect job by Stringer to come into that play and spring it for another 10 yards.
Laid out Leonard Myers and got Dugans to the 30. 1st and 10, Florida State, 12:45 to play. They lead by 3. Kendra in the flat, the fullback. Cuts back in the middle, and Kendra takes a couple would-be tacklers with him. About a 7-yard pickup. Let's pick up John Saunders in New York. John.
Brad, Michigan trying to claw back against Michigan State. Tom Brady back in at quarterback as he and Drew Henson continue to alternate. Finds Aaron Shea 33 yards down to the 2. Sets up an Anthony Thomas touchdown. It's a 10-point game. Brad.
Here a 3-point game with 12-12 remaining. 11 different receivers now that Wanky's used today. Here's a draw play to Minor, and he ran east-west for only about a yard. 12 minutes left. Florida State by 3. We've been tied 3 times today at 7, 14, and 21 at Doak Campbell Stadium. The 43rd meeting between these teams. Miami has won 23, and Florida State's won 19. With Gary Danielson and Lynn Swan, I'm Brad Nessler. There's the All-American receiver not playing in this game, Peter Warwick. Meanwhile, his teammates trying to pull out a win without him, and it looks like Travis Minor got a first down to the 20.
You know, Danny Kendra's turned into a pretty valuable football player for Florida State here. You know, probably the most sought-after player that Florida State has ever recruited. Has finally found a place where he can kind of fit his personality as a fullback. He's got good hands, and he's been doing a very nice job blocking. And he's really not 100%.
Probably would have been the starting quarterback last year, but hurt in the spring game. Knee surgery, came back. He's an avid weightlifter. You wouldn't believe the guy if you saw him. And so with Wanky taking over at the quarterback controls last year, fullback was an option for him, and he's the starter. And he got him down near the 20. Minor got him to the 20, and now Travis breaking tackles down to the 14. Tough running by Travis Minor. Myers and Blades made the stop. Travis said, I need a blow, I think. He's going to stay in the game. Pickup of 6.
He wanted out, didn't he? That means he's not getting the ball, if you ask me. They're going to slip it to Chaney.
Chaney's the up man in the eye. There's the slip to Chaney. But he only got about a yard and a half before Adrian Wilson made the tackle. Dan Morgan can only look on, re-aggravating that left hamstring early in this game. Second leading tackler.
Back-to-back Big East tackler, #1 in tackles, 2 straight years for Miami. Hurt that hamstring, as you said last week. And, you know, in this type of game, he might be able to be replaced because you go with a nickel package anyway.
Timeout taken by Florida State. 10 minutes to go. Seminoles by 3. Butch Davis on the right, Bobby Bowden on the left.
This is really the biggest play of the game for Miami's defense. They don't want to go 10 down. Remember this, Brad. Don't put it past Bobby Bowden to gamble on this situation.
Keep in mind, the last 2 times there have been timeouts in a 3rd down situation. Right. One was Chaney for a touchdown. One was a tight end Sprague for a touchdown. If Florida State can keep that alive, they might, as you said, try to get a big one right here. It's 3rd down and 3. Just inside the Miami 14. Wanky. Pressure from behind to the end zone. Penalty marker in the end zone. It's going to be Leonard Myers again.
They went for it all.
Dugans, the intended receiver, still seated in the end zone. He slipped a little bit on his break, I thought, and Wenke was getting a lot of heat from behind as he had to let go of that thing.
And, you know, that's right in the area in the end zone that's painted. There it is. They fake the slant, come out for the corner. Little push right there, and that's a good call. Myers had him all the way. That's a call. They'll get the ball to the 2-yard line.
Hey, Gary?
Yes.
One of the problems you have sometimes when you run that short flag route, if your slant move, your inside move is too good, it makes a break on the outside too bad. He was wide open on the slant.
That's right. His momentum, they could have just thrown the slant. You're right. Miami had all 11 guys up at the line of scrimmage ready to stop the run, bump and run to the corners.
First and goal at the 2. Travis Minor, touchdown Florida State.
Miami hasn't had a lot of penalties, but that was a huge penalty for them right there.
Remember, Florida State started that drive at their own 3-yard line.
And that was the second pass interference penalty by him in that drive, Leonard Myers.
Janikowski to try to make it a 10-point game does. With 9:55 to play, Florida State has finally edged in front. Their biggest advantage of the day, courtesy Travis Minor. It's 31-21 Seminoles. A drive definitely aided by penalties, as Gary mentioned, goes 97 yards. And the last 2, Travis Minor for the touchdown, and it's a 10-point game.
And the game will now change for Kenny Kelly. We can talk about that a little bit because now Miami is going to have to face a pass rush because Florida State's going to lay their ears back and come at him.
Kenny's thinking about that on the sideline. Janikowski finally kicks one that's returnable, and that's a rarity at the 2-yard line. It's only brought out to the 22. Let's check in with John in New York.
All right, Brad, Michigan State, those who are disbelievers are going to find out they are for real. Michigan Wolverines struggling. Watch DeJuan Moss. He stopped at the 5, rolls into the end zone, 14 yards on the touchdown run. It's 34-17. From New York, back to you, Brad.
And here it's a 10-point game. Number 1, Florida State trying to hang on, but this group of Hurricanes still got some fight left in him, including that guy. And I said to you during the break, I want to see number 6 touch it at least one more time.
He's going to have to at least touch it twice for them to win. They need more than once touch.
Kelly throws with pressure and lofted it out. And he actually got it to Bubba Franks across the 30-yard line, and that's going to be a pickup of about 9. All right, Gary, what's Miami got to do? We know they need 2 scores.
Well, they don't need to panic right away, but they are going to face a pass rush. So Miami needs to throw the short routes, but you're right. They got to go to Santana Moss. He's their guy. But now Kelly has to understand he's going to get whacked when he throws the football. It's just part of the game now. He's going to feel it more than he's felt the whole game.
Even with a quick release on that one,
yes.
He almost was hit before he got rid of it. Second and short. Jackson. Boy, he was about one guy away from a big gainer there, but Brian Allen got over there to help on the stop with Tommy Pauly. And at the 9-minute mark, 31-21, first down Miami. 17 unanswered points for Florida State, included in that 97-yard drive. And a first down coming up. A lot of things running through the mind of Kenny Kelly. His first 4 years as starting quarterbacks played brilliantly today, but he knows it's going to get tough now. Throws a quick out. Moss with the catch. Out to the 40. Gary, what runs through a quarterback's mind?
Well, that's why it's so impressive the way he played. There is like a checklist you have to go through, 20, 30 things that Kelly has to do. There, I've kind of listed a few of them. He's got to get the play, get everybody huddled. He's got to go tell Santana Moss, nice catch. He's got to tell his offensive lineman, you're doing a good job. Now in his mind, he has to be ready. 2nd and 4. Do they blitz? What's my scout report? They're all listed right there. That goes all the way up to the snap of the ball, and he has to do it every play to be successful.
I got dizzy reading it, much less thinking about doing it. 2nd down along 4. Gibbs to Jackson, drops in the backfield. The guy that blew that play up inside, Seymour again. The guy that came back has had shoulder problems, finally a little bit healthier, and that whole play was exploded by number 56.
Roland Seymour said he really, as the year rolled down last year, was never 100%. In fact, he said against Tennessee in the Fiesta Bowl, he played at about 75%. He said he's the most healthy he's been for this football game.
There's a third down conversion story, but it has been a struggle in the second half for Miami. They've got to have this one. Here comes the heat on Kelly. Wanted to throw a screen back to the left side, and now he's running for his life. Got a block. Another one in front of him, but he's dragged down by the speed of Derek Gibson, the safety. Gibson just wouldn't give up, would he?
You're right. Kelly had a screen pass called, expecting the blitz. Remember that screen pass they hit early in the football game? Came back to it, nothing's there. Goes to throw it. This is what it feels like to have a guy chasing you all over the field. Look at Gibson come, number 6. Dodges one block. Man, that is speed from both positions right there.
Capshaw's got to kick it. Nice punt, hangs it up. Durden, fair catch called and taken at the 14. Good kick. But Florida State's got it back, and they've got a 10-point lead. Next Saturday, got some great action for you. LeVar Arrington and Penn State, the Nittany Lions, who now are starting to put it together against Iowa. The last time we saw a score, they'll take on the Buckeyes of Ohio State. You'll get a chance to see really more than 2 great linebackers, but those 2 in particular, All-American candidates. That's noon Eastern on ABC next Saturday.
I think Miami has served notice to Florida State that they're back.
The rivalry's back on, boys.
You bet. Maybe the best rivalry in college football right now. These 2 teams, when they're playing at their peaks, this is a great football game.
Got to have a stop, though, now on the Seminoles, and they stop Minor for no gain. Al Blades made the tackle, but the clock's in Florida State's favor. Kenny Kelly says, guys, I need at least one more chance. Actually, he needs a couple.
Here's the dilemma if you're Mark Richt right now calling plays for Florida State. You'd like to take some time off the clock, but you know throwing the ball, you want to run it, but you're not quite good enough to run it and make first downs. You'd like to win it on offense.
Wanky throws incomplete, and that stops the clock now with 5:54 and a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Chris Wanky, who's been through so much. Mark Richt right there, nearest guy to us, leaning back and going, I want to dial one here that gets a first down, but I don't want to give them the ball on the 25-yard line either.
Right. Chris Wanky on 3rd down has been nothing short of brilliant today. He's got a 3rd and 10 here. 4 wideouts for him from the shotgun. Great jumper. They were offside. On the ground is Minor out to the 17.
They're offside. That's a huge mistake again for Miami. They're killing themselves in the second half with mistakes if it's them.
Looked like the right side of their defensive front jumped in there.
They did. You take a 3rd and 10 with a conservative call, which Davis out there upset to say the least.
Offside.
One more look at it.
Defense.
No, that's just almost inexcusable on 3rd down and 10.
3rd down.
Florida State and Mark Richt did not want to get that type of a call and turn it over. He called it real simple draw play, and now 3rd and 5. You feel with Chris Winkie you can throw the ball and pick it up.
Right. I was just going to ask you, did they change their thinking now?
Oh, I think definitely they feel now I got a quarterback that's very, very experienced. Let's trust him and try to win the game right here.
Especially when he's 11 of 11 in his 3rd down passing. 3rd and 5. Wants to flare it out of the backfield. Minor can't catch it, so that stops the clock. They're forced to punt. They didn't keep it long. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Miami.
Tried to run a pick play to the outside. Both wide receivers kind of slamming inside on Nate Webster that time. But pretty good coverage by Miami forced Winkie to just throw that ball away.
And Les Cottrell kicks it as far away from number 6 as he can. Moss should have a chance at this one.
Miami's as good as anybody at blocking punts.
Bringing a little bit of heat. He lofts one up. and Moss has to let it bounce. There was good coverage down there. One of the gunners on the outside for Florida State got down there in a hurry, Tatum, and that prevented him from being able to return that 50-yard punt. Kenny Kelly gets his chance, but his team's down 10. With Gary Danielson and Lynn Swann, Brad Nessler with 5:11 left in the ball game. Florida State by 10.
Miami will now have to go hurry up. They're going to have to put 3 or 4 wide receivers in the game and hurry up, do the shotgun, whatever they have to do. They need 2 scores.
They haven't shut Kenny Kelly off completely, but you saw completely diminishing his effectiveness that he had in that first half, and he needs some more magic back right now. Kelly hit as he throws, completes it though, throws a strike out to the 49-yard line to Andre King. That's baseball player to baseball player.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, I've really been impressed with Kelly's anticipation throwing the football. Kenny Kelly throwing this ball. Look at that. He threw it way before the guy broke and puts it right on the numbers.
One guy in the Devil Rays organization, the guy that caught it, was drafted by the Braves. And it's a first down at the 49. 5 minutes, 6 seconds remaining. Kelly, plenty of time this time, short over the middle of Jackson. But Florida State's pursuit kept that to about a 3-yard gain. Caught from behind by Brian Allen, along with Corey Simon, the nose guard.
And you talk about how good a game Kenny Kelly's had. Look at it in perspective of Florida State's pass defense. I mean, not many people doing a lot of good things. Joe Hamilton's the only one all year that's been able to dent them.
Kenny Kelly at least trying to put a scratch on him here. 2nd and 7 at the 48. They need 2 scores. From behind, he's hit, trying to get away and lost the ball.
I think he's down. I think they're going to call him down. I don't know if he was down or not.
The ball's still laying there
exactly.
loose. So I guess they are. Corey Simon, the All-American, showing up this series, number 53.
Jamal Reynolds got the initial hit coming from the left side. Beats LaFleur right there. Gets in there, and then Simon cleans it up inside. That's the pass rush everybody's come to know for Florida State. Do you have to say, Brad, that Miami has done a good job of changing up the timing of the pass patterns to keep them off balance? And, boy, that was very close to being a fumble. I thought it at the initial point, and seeing it again, I still think it's a fumble.
Yeah, me too. Last year, Florida State had 7 sacks of Miami in this matchup. And today, there's 2. But now there's a 3rd down situation coming that is vital to Miami staying in the football game. Coming up next, don't forget, college doubleheader continues on ABC. Here's your regional matchups. Georgia Tech against North Carolina, Purdue, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Texas, USC, and Arizona. Check the local listings for the game in your area. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network for all the games on pay-per-view. Well, this one's been a dandy so far. 4:14 remaining. And Miami trying to somehow stay in the game. They trail by 10.
Interesting quirk of the stats right now. Miami in this game has been 3 of 4 converting on 3rd downs of 10 or more yards. That doesn't happen very often. No. That's usually a never make. I think, though, for Miami, it's 2-down territory.
They're not going to get it back too many more times, and they need 2 scores. Santana Moss is the slot man on the right side. It's 3rd down and 18. Florida State backs up defensively with their secondary, and Kenny Kelly finds a seam down the middle. It's a 1st down throw to the 40 to Andre King.
I'll bet you that's a play that Florida State has never seen. Kenny Kelly rolls right and throws back, a design play. Kelly's going to go this way and then throw right back into this area right here. Watch this. If you're a defensive back, you've got to believe he's going to throw to his right. Gets the flow, comes back, and throws it. Well-designed play.
Out of the shotgun with 4 minutes left, he throws again. And King made another great catch. It might be a 1st down.
Who is this guy? There are so many players on this field that can make plays. Ball was thrown behind. It's thrown early. Remember, you're just picking a spot if you're a quarterback, trying to throw it anywhere in the vicinity.
Another 1st down inside the Florida State 30. Miami trying to rally the troops with 3:50 remaining in the football game. Kelly steps up past the pressure, fires, tip,
intercepted by Derek Gibson.
And the first miscue of the day could be the most costly play of the football game.
Well, it was a pair of sixes that were fighting for that ball that time. Gibson and Moss were there. You're hoping when you let that ball go as a quarterback that your offensive player can win this battle. Let's take one more look at it. Kelly says, I got one-on-one. Let's let it fly. Fires it. You're hoping that your guy can win that battle. Gibson wins it. And I know when you've got a receiver out there fighting like that, you figure your guy's going to win that thing. Gibson made an outstanding play. Lynn, you got to know one-on-one, you're expecting to win, right?
Well, one-on-one, you always figure that the wide receiver's going to win. And you're going to make the great play.
Travis Minor, 12 yards and a first down.
See, that was not an awful pass. He took a gamble. At that point in the game, 3 minutes to go, you have to gamble. That's what you got to do. And he shouldn't take it all personally. That just goes with the position.
And now it appears as though Miami, after a 2-0 start, will lose their third straight game. And this one's going to be about as tough to swallow as the Penn State and East Carolina matchup.
Well, I think they're going to feel a lot better about themselves after this game than they did after East Carolina. And Penn State, for that matter.
First down at the 36. Going to come with a blitz. And the run by Minor in the open field. Travis Minor, midfield. Into Canes territory, dragged out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Another 20-yard romp by Travis Minor. Nothing minor about his contribution today. Though that stops the clock, that might stop any kind of hope for Miami.
Florida State offense, just too many weapons without their best weapon even loaded today.
Yep. It appears that the Noles will go to 6-0, keep their top ranking, keep their winning streak alive at Doak Campbell. It'll rise to 27. They can hang on the next 3 minutes. Chaney in now at the tailback spot behind Kendra, and he'll get the carry. Chaney about a 4-yard gain. Let's check in with John Saunders in New York.
Brad, Michigan refuses to give in to Michigan State. Tom Brady back in again. 19 yards to David Terrell. Touchdown makes it 34-24. And Michigan has the ball, still marching with plenty of time left. Brad.
So that one's not over. This one is getting close to being that. Second down and 6. That young man has had a sensational day. And boy, is he fun to watch.
Absolutely. Not only does he fight and play, he competes, he's focused, he's a good team player. Wonderful football player.
Santana Moss, a brilliant performance will be for naught in the win column, it appears, unless Florida State makes a mistake here. Chaney wrapped up in the backfield and got back about to the line of scrimmage. Time permitting. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. John and Terry with the scores and highlights from across the country. Some very interesting games, some close scores today, and a lot of good middle of the season, normally conference play type football. This one isn't a conference game, but has the feel
more important
of a bowl game almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. Blades down on the field and might be a cramp problem.
And he took an IV last week, 2 weeks ago, against East Carolina to finish the game, and he looks like he's cramping again.
And while he's having problems, we've got time to go back to John again in New York.
Brad, we want to remind everyone, regional coverage is coming up. Some of you will see Drew Brees try and pick up the yardage against Niall Diggs of Ohio State. Others in the ACC, Ronald Curry has struggled this year. Offense hasn't looked good in front of him. Joe Hamilton, perhaps the front runner now for the Heisman Trophy. In the Big 12, Josh Heupel is lighting it up. Oklahoma doesn't run the ball anymore. They passed Major Applewhite of Texas as well. And in the Pac-10, R.J. Soward and Trung Candidate try to pull out this season for the Pac-10. Brad.
Well, there's a great preview of what's coming up in our doubleheader, wherever you might be. Blades got up, walked off under his own power, and no doubt I think it's a cramping problem. Meanwhile, third down, and the clock running down to a minute and a half. Third down and 6, and if Florida State picks this up, you can not turn off the lights at Doak Campbell because it's a cloudy day, but it's going to be all over, and they'll be 6-0. Hit in the backfield. Nice play defensively by Matt Sweeney. And timeout taken with 1:12 remaining. Talked about Dell Game solutions, and this guy certainly had some answers, if not the solution.
Well, and then remember we talked about they had to put hits on Chris Winkie. Chris Winkie came through. He said he loved the pressure situations. Number of times he avoided sacks. He made a lot of big plays not shown there in those stats. Scrambles, yep. Avoiding sacks, leadership, checkoff. So, you know, Chris Winkie has came through in the biggest pressurized game of his career.
Talking with Mark Richt, he said, you know, we recruited him so long ago, it was almost a decade back.
Yeah.
And along came guys since he would have been here. Brad Johnson, Casey Weldon, both with the Washington Redskins now. One a starter, one a backup. Charlie Ward, a Heisman Trophy winner. Then came Danny Cannell, now with the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL. Thad Busby had a 21-2 career as a starter. And now it's Chris Winkie, who has got his team 6-0. And had everything rolling along beautifully until he was hit in that Virginia game Gary and I did last year. A neck injury. You wondered whether he'd be able to come back and play football, much less throw a football. And today he put up a heck of a showing against a tough competitor in a game he said was his biggest game ever in an Noles uniform. And he's going to come out with a win. Penalty markers. Whistles with 1:10 remaining.
That would be illegal procedure by Florida State.
Dead ball, false start, kicking team, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Bobby Bowden not happy about any penalties, whether his team's up 10 with 1:10 to go or not.
Well, everybody knows the story about Chris and his exploits trying to play Major League Baseball. Said he gave it a good shot, had some success, but then called, it was 1990 when he was going to come here. He would have been competing with Brad Johnson. Now he's making about $6 million less than him.
They tell us Winkie made some nice investments over the baseball money, but I don't think it's quite as stiff as Brad. Yeah. Here's a punt. Santana Moss probably would like to have that fair catch called back, but he takes the safe route at the 15-yard line. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road. The Olive Garden, when you're here, your family. FedEx, be absolutely sure. And the United States Army Reserve, be all you can be. From the capital city of Florida, a capital effort by both these teams today. We were tied at 21 at intermission, but the second half, while not dominated, has at least belonged to the home team. And a chance of FSU now in the background as the sellout crowd at Doak Campbell senses the winning streak staying alive at 27. Kelly throws out, completes it. About a 7-yard gain to Reggie Wayne. And they kept him in bounds. Lee Van Thomas over there defensively. So the clock winds its way down near 50 seconds.
Florida State will trade yards for time right now.
Hand off to Jackson, trying to pop one through, and he does, at least for a first down. And that momentarily stops the clock at 37 seconds. Brian Allen with the tackle. Butch Davis will go to 0-5 against Florida State. But Butch, you have done a heck of a job putting together a good football team, and it's not a 2-3 team, I'll tell you that much.
They've got a schedule that they can win some games, but Butch Davis is also 0-4 against Virginia Tech, and that is another team that's on this schedule for Miami as they finish out the year.
Virginia Tech has a favorable Big East schedule that maybe they could run the table. They don't stub their toe along the way. Bobby Bowden will look at this one as a case of survival. It was a tough one. He knew it would be. He didn't have his Heisman Trophy candidate wide receiver, but he had enough depth at that position that some other stars started to twinkle a little bit here in Tallahassee today.
Well, it's hard to believe, but I think you'd be better off losing a Peter Warwick than Chris Winkie right now on this football team.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 8. Kelly throws on the run. Aims it out there. Caught by Reggie Wayne. Let's check in with John in New York.
Well, Brad, as we told you, Michigan refuses to back away from this one at Michigan State. Tom Brady here goes 11 yards to Aaron Shea. Touchdown. 34-31 is the score right now. Michigan set to kick off and still very much alive with 2:47 to go. Wisconsin beats Minnesota in overtime with a 31-yard field goal. Brad, back to you.
Wow. Barry Alvarez from his hospital bed gets a 3-point win.
Somebody wake up Barry and tell him. Okay?
Kenny Kelly on a sprint out, and now he's going to keep it and get what he can. He won't get the first down, but he got it out to about the 38-yard line. The Chevrolet players of the game in this one: Travis Minor, 146 yards and a touchdown on 26 carries. And Santana Moss, he's about as fun as anybody we've seen in a while. 9 catches, 180 yards, and 2 touchdowns. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each school's general scholarship fund.
You know, it could have been either quarterback. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But those two guys really came up big for this football team. Quarterbacks get it every game. Kenny Kelly played a beautiful game. I think Miami's got to be thrilled with what they have there. And Chris Winkie answered.
Yep.
Answered the bell. He knew he was going to be the center of attention. He had a wonderful game also. You can't have a bad game when you come to this one.
You got that right. The New York remote coordinator, Vince DeBerrio. Kevin Behrman, our college football today technical director. Calvin Haywood directed college football today. College football today produced by Charles Copland. Craig Rothberg's our computer stat man. Clint Dean's our spotter. Pat McGrath, our statistician. Chapman Downs and Craven Martin, our assistants to the producer. Jay Gleason, our technical operations manager. Our production managers, Joe Alvarado. Fred King, our associate director. Associate producer, Margaret Schaefer. Jeff Suarez, our technical director. Today's game directed by Chip Dean and produced by Jay Rothman. Coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Bob Goodrich. The executive producer of College Football is John Filippelli. And the executive producer of ABC Sports is Howard Katz. We had a great game to watch today, folks. These are the kind that you like to go to in person, but if you could only watch us, we were happy to have you along with us. Mario Edwards out of bounds trying to make the interception with 9 seconds remaining. And amazingly enough, on an overcast day that saw a lot of rain, how fitting that the sun's trying to pop through with 9 seconds left, because it's about to shine brightly on the top-ranked team in the country. They'll go to 6-0. They've got Wake Forest next. And then it's
Clemson.
Clemson
Right?
as Bowden takes on Bowden.
That's a game I'd be real interested in seeing. That is a scene. You know Death Valley. That may be a tougher place to play. Better home field advantage for Clemson than anybody else in the ACC, including this place.
Yep. Miami's second half, things have fallen apart. They were intercepted and had to punt 5 times after a near perfect first half. They'll head back south to Miami with their second half having gone south. And they're going to lose this one here about a play from now. Offensive motion. Illegal procedure on Joaquin Gonzalez, the right tackle, and Bobby Bowden. He'll hug a little bit of everybody now, and hugs a new contract, by the way, this week. That was kind of lost in the shuffle of all the Peter Warrick, Lavernius Cole news, is that Coach Bowden is anything but thinking about retiring now. Contract extension, and he and Joe Pa can coach forever, I think. Kenny Kelly gets away, fires one high and incomplete for Reggie Wayne, and we're down to 1 play. So Florida State got scared by Georgia Tech. They were tied here at halftime by Miami. And who knows, maybe the national championship is in their future. There's a happy coach. It'll be win number 298. And he seems like he loves it as much as 20 years ago when we come down
How
here.
could you not? He's got a football team that's is beautiful to watch. He said it's as good as any Florida State team he's ever had.
Final play of the game.
I think they will get Peter Warrick back this season sometime. It may just be the bowl game, but I think they'll get him back.
I agree with you. Kelly, final play. And the throw is complete, but the game is over. Florida State a winner. Final score 31-21. For Lynn Swan and Gary Danielson, I'm Brad Nessler. Up next, college football doubleheader concludes with regional action. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.